Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
I cannot believe it's Friday already, and I got to get on a plane here in 2 days. Anyway, hey, good evening, TB. First one in. Gizmo, good evening. You guys, thank you for liking. That helps get it out there. It helps more people know that this goes on. Banquet of Consequences, good evening to you. Banquet says that you looked fierce in my thumb. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, B really doesn't even know what thumbnail I use. I mean, she doesn't really get involved in any of it. In fact, most times she sees it for the first time when we actually go live.
When you show me.
Yeah, I told him that I took that picture 1 minute after midnight.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I turned into crazy lady.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, here we go. Eagle Lover, good evening to you. Hey, the Terminator's in the house. Beth Emily says that was not very nice of me to do that to the thumbnail. I thought it was great, just for the record.
Of course you did.
Yep, I did. Vicky Pullen, good evening. Hey, LJC is in the house. Happy Friday. Friday, she says. Hilltop Home Place, good evening. Songs of Joy, Tamber Smith. And the famous Gypsy is in the house.
Hello,
That
folks.
is King Juicy Gypsy Hefty Lefty. Faith K is in the house. How are you? I got to hang out with Faith a little bit when we were at Self-reliance Festival.
Did she torture you?
No. No, she's pretty mellow. One more rock. Good evening to you. MJ in Wisconsin. Hello. Aljo, good evening. And Barb's also in the house from Southern California. Mandy Garrett, how are you, my friend?
Mandy.
Yeah, Mary Michelle's in the house. Midwest Ribeye. Evan Dixon, what's going on, bud? Yep, Evan is a big radio guy, and he's quite often in a lot of the festivals that I attend down there. So if you guys, if you look at Evan Dixon there with Radio Made Easy, if you guys are interested in ham, interested in getting your communications in order, we're going to talk about this a little bit tonight about getting our house in order. The world's a weird place if you guys haven't noticed. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but from a communications perspective, Evan Dixon there with Radio Made Easy would be a great one to reach out to. Sharpshooter, good evening to you. Dana Green, hello. Hey, all from East Texas, burning bush and baking bread. Gotta love that. Will Be Cool's in the house. Yep, I just hung out with him a little bit too at Self-reliance. Kentucky Goat Man, good evening to you. Easy, and the greatest name on the internet.
Half bubble thumb.
Is in the house.
Did I get it right?
Yep, and our good friends Life, Mike, and Jen are here. They said great thumbnail picture. Yeah, I don't know if you heard Jen when we opened, but I don't typically show her the thumbs. I just find a snip clip of a video I filmed.
The worst picture you can find of me from the week before, and then you're like, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I get for making faces.
Yep. Bonnie's in the house and Drummond's live. And the instigator himself, Hippocrates Garden, is in the house. He said he's going to try to be good. I don't want you to change a thing you do, Hippocrates.
He's going to try.
Yeah. Steve is in this house, says, hey guys, been MIA for a few weeks, been in the hospital. Oh no.
Hope you're doing better.
Yeah, I hope you're doing better. I hope that means you're out, and I hope that means you're on the mend. Evan Dixon says, thank you very much. Happy to help anyone and everyone get started. Yeah, now, I think if I remember right, Evan, your channel is Radio Made Easy, correct? If one of the mods are out there, you want to put a link up in here so people can follow it, that would be super helpful. Molly Mason's in the house in here with big thumbs up. Thank you much. And the famous Grumpy Acres is in the house. I had fun torturing them over the weekend. Not really them. Really, it's just Yoda. I don't really torture G much, but I torture.
Can you? I don't
well,
think
yeah, he don't take it.
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah, he's like whatever.
Yeah.
But Yoda, on the other hand, I can poke buttons at, and it's quite fun. Well, it is, you know.
I can see that.
Skane's girl is in the house. She did a pretty cool rap for us when she was out here at the Midwest Preparedness Project. Smokey8476 says, I need radios. Well, let's see if we can get
you hooked up.
Get you hooked up with Evan Dixon up there. I'm pretty sure the channel's Radio Made Easy, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's true. Salty Dog, good evening. It says pile in the forks and tag, and Miss B is about to start. Amen to that. Let me see. Yeah, Life with Mike and Jen like the thumbnail, by the way. They said it's hilarious. Hey, Big Kid, what's going on, bud? Hey, there's some of my good friends, too. Dave and Sonia in Michigan. They're at the Indiana Homesteading Conference. Yeah, I have to tell you guys, I am looking forward to the traveling ending where I can be home. And I've still got 3 more right in a row. But
yeah, but every time you come back, you're like, I met the greatest people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about some of that, too, here in a little bit. Let me see here. Casey Goatman says, remember to like the video. Thank you very much. Yeah. Grumpy Acre says it's sleepy. Yeah. So we were torturing Angela. For anybody who knows Angela very well, Angela is on a different schedule. She likes to stay up late, sleep in the morning. This is very normal. She likes to work through the night while everyone else. She's a night person. So, but anyway, it gives us something to torture her about. So
she's sleepy and he's grumpy.
Well, yes, she's sleepy and he's grumpy. That would be true. Carrie Davis is in the house. Good evening to you. Try to get to the bottom here. Oh, there you go. Okay, so there's Radio Made Easy right there.
Oh, good.
Yep, it was Radio Made Easy. Okay, Faith, thank you very much for putting that in there. I appreciate it very much. Yep, Tom Shivel is in the house. Let me see here. Make sure I got everybody. Wait, here we go. All the hams and GMRSs in the house say 73. Miley says, cool new shirt. Yeah, you got to get some free man going on. And then see from Grid Down, I just got these hats. And I'm leaving here shortly. We're going to go put a complete house solar system in Lumna Acres place. And
in their house?
In their garage. Well, we're going to do their house already has one, but we're going to upgrade it. And then we're going to put a complete one in the shop. So we're actually doing two of them, and Grid Down's doing it. And so that'll be a neat experience to me. I've never met Al. Talked to him on the phone, been in videos with him and stuff, but I've never met him.
I've seen several of their videos on the shop being built.
Yeah. You caused so much confusion. People had a hard time figuring out who Yoda and Sleepy were. Yeah. Well, it would not be abnormal, right, for me to confuse things. So, Janine, good evening to you. See if I can get to the bottom here. American Roots. There's the famous American Roots. They've been on a journey.
Hey.
Any of you guys who don't know, in fact, I can't do it from here. I was going to make sure they could post in there. They're in an incredible journey, coming from the city, and they bought land, and they finally got their tiny house delivered, and it's race all the time. And
then they drove the Chalupa Cabra. So that was race.
Yeah. So
in a different way.
Yeah. Life with Mike and Jen were here, and they're such cool people, and they're just fun to hang out with. And
did I tell you I sent her a message?
No.
I kept sending her a message, okay. And she never responded.
Yeah, she don't like you.
I know. She probably changed her phone number by now.
Oh, look at that. There's some more.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
They were here and they brought
chalupa. Yeah, well, that's not a chalupa. So Mike came and he's got this racing quad UTV basically, a Razor, whatever you call it. But anyway, I'm used to UTVs. I have mine, but I never get mine above 30 or 40 ever. I'm just don't.
Mine goes 22.
Yeah, and hers top speed's 22. And so he comes out with this racing thing. We all drove it and had a lot of fun, and it was fun. He was sitting in the passenger seat trying to get me to go faster all the time. And man, yeah, Mario. He's Mario. 100% Mario. Let me see here. Faith says, oh, tag, dude, that pic on Kentucky Sustainable Living website is freaking amazing. Yeah. So I'm speaking in Kentucky about leaving the system.
Okay.
And so they used one of my business pictures in a suit.
Oh.
So, yeah. So the old me is the picture, which is what she's referring to.
Yes, there are people who don't know you in a suit, and they see you in a suit and go, what the heck are you doing? Who died? I was like, come back to me. I miss you.
Yeah, pretty neat. Anyway, I think I'm pretty caught up with what Big Kid got to say. I feel the need for speed. Yeah, let's fly. Yeah, guys, I tell you, if anybody wants to hang out with an adrenaline junkie, Mike is your guy. He is 100% your guy.
That is not me. I'm good going 22.
Yeah. Let me see here. They said, should I have sent flowers? I don't think anybody died from it. I don't understand. Did you get it?
Because of the suit? Because you were dressed like you were going to a funeral?
See, tag, is that picture? New specs? No, these are my same glasses I always wear. I think anyway.
Those are your prescription glasses. And he doesn't like to wear his prescription glasses because he doesn't want to ruin them. Right. So he would rather wear the Walmart disposables. And I did notice in your truck when I drove your truck, there were several pairs of glasses with one arm missing. There's like a whole stash of them up there. So
yeah,
I guess there's a reason why
I'm hard on them.
Why you wear
Jen says your funeral suit.
Your funeral suit.
Yeah, you got it. Good job.
Yeah, that was from.
Good job.
That was from your old life, old job.
Let me see here. Hi, this is Starla's daughter. We are here watching. Well, Starla's daughter. Hello, Starla is a legend around these parts.
Mm-hmm.
So super cool. I'm glad you're watching. Where is Starla? Is she with you?
She said we.
Or is she out lollygagging? Hey, Packrat's in the house. Let me see here. He may be able to read the fine print tonight. Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't count on it. It's so crazy. I had such good vision, and then one day, boom, it was gone. Anyway. Pretty cool. So let's talk about, I'm going to start with the Self-Reliance Festival. Let's do a recap of that real quick. So got down there. Actually, it was neat. I got to drive down all the way down there with Bobby Spags. So it was me and Bobby. We took the truck and drove down there. And I got to tell you guys something about Bobby. He's a really good guy. We drove 10 hours down there and 10 hours back and never once turned the radio on.
Because you just talked the whole time, or was it just quiet? No,
there's no quiet. We just chit-chatted and had fun and, tried to find ways to make videos and, poke Yoda's buttons. And then, they'd make videos to poke them back and just whatever it was. But it was a really, really, really good trip down there.
Oh, you had said that was what I cut you off. I'm sorry. You said it. Somebody said a picture of, oh, never mind. Shh, never mind. You already said it. Sorry.
Starting in on it early today?
Yep.
I love my wife.
It's been a long week.
Yeah. Anyway, now where am I?
I don't know.
Self-Reliance Festival. So anyway, so we got all the way down there. I spoke on Sunday. So Saturday came. I did help them out a little bit on Saturday. There was something I really liked when they were there, which Nicole Sauce had me get up on stage with her. And they started asking who's looking for, their community. And when someone raised their hands, like, where are you from? They're like, okay, we're from South Carolina, let's say it. And so she'd say, okay, everybody from South Carolina, get up in the audience right now and go stand by that pumpkin or by that trailer or whatever it was. And by the time it was done, there were all these circles of people.
Oh, wow.
Talking together. And it was just really, really cool to be part of that and to witness that. And so that was really cool. I really enjoyed that a lot. Then I spoke on Sunday and I spoke about community, and I kind of tried to talk about the 30,000 foot view of community, the clan versus the crew versus the mag versus the mine versus the friendly versus the, all of the big picture of the community. And that was really cool. And one of the things that was so cool about it for me was, and a little bit nervous, I have to admit, because right in the front row, right in front of me when I was speaking was Joe Salatin taking notes. And, he's kind of a big dog,
Yeah.
I'm a little dog here in Kansas,
Taking notes.
And he sent me several emails since then. And we've talked a little bit about community, which was really neat to have somebody like that interested in that. And it was interesting. Him and I line up a lot, like the way we view the world. And B and I are going to get out there to visit with him a little bit. And I'm going to go on to this more, but real quick, I want to get some hellos back in. My buddy and Dan and Mike's in the house. Absolute great guy, and I was happy to help today.
Ahoy.
Yeah, I helped him get a whole bunch of trusses off of a semi-truck today, but it wasn't a big deal. We got right through that. Let me see. Grumpy says, dude, you poked me after my truck stopped fight. It was hard to come back at you. I was frustrated.
You're going to fight at a truck stop?
She's a gangster.
I would not do that.
Right, she's a gangster.
Wow.
Right. Let me see here. What do we got here? To catch up on the video without skipping. What's this? I was trying to catch up on the video without skipping. Oh, here are those coyotes.
Those are coyotes?
Look at those notes.
Sounds like kids screaming.
Whole bunch of them out there. Hey, look who's in the house.
Tabletop. Hello.
Hello. Tabletop Farms, you guys. Fabulous family. If you guys want to buy produce because you're not growing enough, this is a great place right here. I cannot speak enough for them. They're absolute rock stars. And they're doing it all for the right reasons. Tabletop Farms, Missouri. So MO. TabletopFarmsMO.com. And B loves their turnips the best, right?
Turnips.
Yeah, man, they sell these white turnips that are just to die for.
They're delicious. But they're greens. They're oh my god, microgreens.
They do so much.
Lots of those. When we have somebody who's going to be in that area, I try to do an online order and then ask people to like, hey, can you stop over there and pick me up some goods?
Yeah.
And deliver it.
Karen says, hi, y'all. Second live in a row. Now that it's dark by 7, I can come inside in time. I get it. I try to push it too till there's no, you can't see anymore. But we're certainly glad that you're here. Hey, Dana Rydell is in the house. Good evening. Let's see here. Life Mike and Jen, I may not have the adrenaline, but I so have a lifelong need to go faster. 244 is my highest known top speed. Yeah, you guys, no thank you. No thank you. Midwest Rib, I wanted to know if there was anybody from Iowa there at the SRF. I don't recall Iowa coming up. But again, it was just super, super neat to see all those people.
I was going to ask you if there was somebody from every state.
Yeah. No, it wasn't every state, but there was 7 or 8 groups that got together. I think the only one we talked about that there wasn't a lot of people was Arkansas. And Mandy Garrett was there. A friend of mine, her name's Mandy. She's in the lives a lot. Super nice lady, great husband, working hard. They've had a hard time finding community, and that's the only one I think we got out. But Tabletop says they missed us. Yeah, we got to get together sometime soon. I know you guys are busy. We're busy, but we need to. Let me see here. I have a very good sense of self-preservation. Love low and slow in my Jeep. Yes, this is Jen talking. This is not Mike talking, I can assure you. Faith K put up Tabletop Farms' website. Guys, I'm telling you, great people. You want to vote with your dollar? This is a great place to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Meat. They got vegetables.
Hey, Unique Prepping's in the house. What is going on, my man?
Just wanted to stop by and hit the thumbs up.
I really appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Starla says, sorry, look at this is Starla Doak's daughter. Says, what do you mean my mother's a legend? My mother is with me, but she is ill again. She is sleeping most of the time. Yeah, she's so involved in the community and, has lots of good things to talk about, lots of knowledge, lots of things to share. She's been around a bunch. I was
going to say she's an elder. She's been here since we've been here.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Everybody knows her name.
Any community near the intersection of North Dakota and South Dakota and Minnesota? There was actually a bunch of people from Minnesota, believe it or not. There was a circle of people from Minnesota that got up and went over and talked. And I actually met a young couple in South Dakota who is dying to find community. Karen, if you email me, I'll connect you guys because I have their email address. They've emailed me a couple times since I've been home. Banquet of Consequences out of here. Well, I'm glad you got to join, and I'll see you again soon, right? Yeah, Life with Mike and Jen said we got word that fuel was going up tonight. It is going up, and it's going to go up a bunch. B and I just filled our 500-gallon tanks.
That reminds me.
Yeah, was that a big bill?
I need to go get it because our guy sticks it on the tank, and then if I don't get it before it rains, then I don't know how much we owe.
Yep. Hey, Weapons Junkies in the house. Hey, this is another great guy. Hey, by the way, but I had a thought, something that you said. If you have my email me. I'd like to chit chat a little bit with you. But anyway, I'm getting ready to leave, so I probably won't be for a little bit. But I'd like to anyway. But I'm glad you're here, bud. Evan Dixon says should make a corkboard map for visitors to tag their locations at the next event. Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Super, super cool. She says, had no idea. Yeah, your mom's kind of a legend. And you tell her we said that, but I know she's been ill and we're all praying for her.
Speedy recovery.
Yep. Okay. Who else we got in the house? Can Squatch is in the house. Thank you. And guys, if I don't read all of the comments, I'm sorry. They just go by so fast. I try to get to all of them and I will continue to do my best to get to all of them. Any communities in central Kentucky area? Yeah. Look up KY Goatman, look up Kentucky Sustainable Living on Facebook. There's 1,000 people in that group. They're all over Kentucky. That's absolutely where I would start. B, your Cheers theme song was noticed. Rock on. What's that?
Where everybody knows Starla's name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, got it. Okay. Hey, Gizmo, good evening. And Gregory, good evening to you as well. Just made it. This is a nice fall day. Okay, so anyway, so I gave myself my speech, and it was a little bit intimidating because Salatin was sitting in the front row taking notes, and then he wanted to chit-chat a bunch afterwards. I got a picture here. Look, see? Mr. Joe Salatin. So that was pretty cool. And again, we just got to hang out, and it was really cool.
Are you guys standing up?
Yes, we were both standing up. And he's a lot shorter than I thought he would be. But
that's what I was going to say.
Kind of the godfather in homesteading in a lot of ways, and we talked a lot about community. Now they do it very, very differently. He had said to me that they've got 25 people who live on their farm full time, and that's what he thinks as his community, right? As everybody's just there. And
it's the same people that they live there.
And there's interns. And I actually had somebody contact me this week asking if I knew any farms who had any intern openings that their kid, their 18-year-old son could come work a summer and learn how to farm and, those kind of things. But anyway, it's pretty cool. Let me see here. What's Hippocrates say? Hippocrates says at the moment, regular unleaded gas here in Northeast Arkansas is $2.75.
Wow.
American Root says, no, you're just tall. Yeah.
You're
just
a lot
about
taller.
Yeah. Just about everyone's short to me, apparently. Yeah. And he is a great guy. Guys, it was really, really neat. He was just a normal guy. He's talked to everybody. He made everybody feel important. He took time for everybody. He signed books for everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was just a good guy, and he had sent me an email when I had gotten home, and we chit-chatted a little bit, mainly just about community, but then he said to let him know anytime we're over on the East Coast and give him a few days notice, and he'd roll the red carpet out for us. So I'm going to try to get B out there if I can. We'll see how well that goes, but
I'd totally go to his farm.
Do you think I could get you on the road for that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at this. American Root says $4.39 in Arizona for unleaded. Oh my goodness. Pack Rat says, I'm currently reading, and this is from Joel. Everything I Want to Do is Illegal. The first edition signed, I found locally. Yeah, that Salatin's very freedom-minded, just like you have. Him and I was actually surprised at how well we connected at those deeper philosophical things. Starving the beast and, the way we go about doing business and doing it our way and how he's kind of evolved over time and as I have. And so it's pretty neat.
How old is he?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I didn't ask him. Probably 60. Be my guess, Joel has been fighting the fight before most of us knew there was anything wrong. Yeah. It was just super, super cool to meet him.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah. Let me see here. When we met him, he was so happy to shake hands and have a chin wag. We have several of his books. Yeah, it was just cool to meet him, Mandy Garrett, give us a call. Numbers on the website. Mandy, and you need to talk to Tabletop. Tabletop they got it going on. And, you can buy produce from them. You can do those things, but you can learn a lot from them too.
Their videos on starting their microgreens and just gardening stuff you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
The hole poker. Never even seen one of those before.
Yeah, and they're in the same boat a lot of us are. They find it hard to get a lot of videos out because you're just so busy all the time. Yeah. But I'm telling you, fabulous, fabulous, fabulous people. Super glad you guys are here. Oh, okay, there we go. Got it. Let me see here. Joel. Oops. Man, that's funny. I go to click one and it misses and gets the next one. That's right. Ribeye. Okay, got it. Let me see here. Joel doesn't participate in the Social Security system or Medicare. He's committed to being free. Yep. Look at there.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to go. I'd come back with a whole list of to-do items. I think that would be horrible. Pictures. My picture reel would be full. Trying to keep up with all the things that are really cool.
Yeah. You know what, babe? At the end of the day, knowledge weighs nothing.
Yeah, but I can't remember everything that I need to, That was my I can't remember everything. I gotta make lists. And then when something gets done, I can check it off.
Yeah. Well, knowledge weighs nothing, and I would love to send you there to learn. And I'd 100% for it, So, I mean, the world's a little bit weird to be traveling at the moment, but I mean, it's continental United States. So Big Kid says Joel's 66. He just looked it up. Grumpy said Joel's very down to earth. Yeah. Super good folks and really enjoyed it. I got to hang out with someone else that I had. Hold on, stepping in it. One more comment here real quick. My honey was very thick this year and much darker. How was yours? I live in Springfield, Missouri.
That's probably what they were getting into.
Yeah.
I had one year I had a real dark harvest and it was, I think it was from buckwheat because that's what was in the field behind us. Mm-hmm. And it was very aroma. It smelled like a wet dog. It stunk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
was
did.
good, though. It
It
tasted good.
stunk.
All right. So anyway, back to Self-reliance, right?
Yes.
Okay. So got through all of that. I got to hang out a little bit with a whole bunch of people. First of all, John. And those of you guys who don't know John from Special Operations Equipment, he's a good dude. You know, a lot of people take him wrong, I think, because he's so blunt. Like if someone asks him, you know, hey, I want to start my own business, you know, what do I do? He'd say, no, you don't.
Yeah.
It's just how he's wired. You know, he's like, no, you don't, because if you really wanted to do it, you'd have already done it.
Just do it.
You would get off your ass and you go do something about it. And it's just how he is. But he's a good guy, and you know, he'll give the shirt off his back. He's actually making B right now a custom purse, which I can't wait to get.
A purse?
A purse. Yeah, well, a single sling backpack.
Oh, a bag.
Yeah, a backpack. But so Special Operations Equipment backpack, custom for B, dark brown, like the color of this hat, because that's the color I wanted. And so he's
That's the color you wanted my purse.
Yes, that's the color you wanted too.
Well, I asked you to.
Yeah.
I saw your bag when you brought it home, and I really liked it. And I said, "Do you think he would make me one?" And you said, "He's not going to make you a bag, Bethany."
Well, he's making her a bag, which is pretty cool. And
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're actually having two made because there's also another person that's in our life who helps all the time who really wanted one as well, and so we had one made for them too. But anyway, hopefully she'll get it pretty quick. But anyway, so I got to hang out with John a lot, and I got to hang out with the first time with someone I've never met before, which was Bear Independent. So that's me and John, right?
That's you with the big free man shirt on.
Yeah. Could you pick me out of that?
Yeah.
Anywhere?
Even with a blurry top, you know who that is.
Yeah. So anyway, so I got to hang out with that a little bit.
I was getting closer to look at it.
Yeah, you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the other guy. Oh, sorry. There you go. So this guy's Sam. So it's me in order going across the screen. It's me, John Willis from Special Operations Equipment, Sam, and Bear from Bear Independent. You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
anyway, you're such a dork. Buckwheat honey is supposed to boost the level of antioxidants. Different honey for different purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sent you all a pic from Saturday with you and Bobby. Oh, cool. Super, super cool. Next on my page. All right. So anyway, Self-reliance, it was a good event. It was way bigger than it would have been previous years. Lots of people talking, lots of things going on. There's lots of little things they did, I think, this year that was better. They had more vendors, which I always like that. And it seemed like the vendors made money. So
were they food vendors?
There was 2 food vendors there. Mm-hmm. So Grumpy Acres was there. They cooked. Well, I say they cooked. I should clarify this. So Grumpy and Darren Strong cooked all the breakfast because Yoda was sleeping. And then Yoda came out.
And then the cooking started.
No, then she told him what to do, and then they still cooked it. But but she became the manager of the operations about noon when she woke up.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Was Garen in an apron?
Did the
guys have aprons on?
No, but they were wearing.
This said "My gloves. Kitchen, my rules."
No, they should have. The Weapons Junkie says good group of gentlemen there. Oh yeah. Oh, Weapons Junkie. It was a good time to hang out. And you had made mention when I talked about it. You had made mention about someone who I like, who I don't know, and I thought maybe you could make an introduction for me. It sounded like you knew. So anyway, we'll get to it another day. But let me see here. She said her honey smelled like molasses. Hmm?
Yeah. Well, the thickness was probably because of the hydration levels.
Yeah.
So you want it pretty thick. I do remember one year that it was extra thick. We had a hard time getting it out of it's because we left it in there over. I think we tried to. Mm-hmm. We spun it in.
Yep.
We left it in the boxes like for most of the winter.
Yeah.
And then when
its water content
went to spin it, we couldn't. We had to like heat it into the kitchen with the stove, not like heat it, but like get it warmer. Mm-hmm. And then we were able to spin it out.
Molly wants to know what happened when. What were you doing while all this was going on? She was on vacation.
Mm-hmm. I was sleeping.
Yeah. Her and her friend Lisa hung out and ate bonbons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got pedicures.
They got pedicures. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What else did you do?
We got like facials and like couples massages.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you look up in a chicken coop.
No, I need one because my shoulder's jacked up. Or maybe it's my neck. I think it's coming from my neck.
Tamara said wax moths killed her bees. Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah.
They will do that. Guys. I don't know what that means. Let me see here. We are seeding various greens and grasses for diversity in our fields. They just got the last cutting today, and then I will seed. Kind of like the einkorn principle. Brett says, y'all in the middle of the country have all the fun. Hey, there's Off the Wall Prepper 2. What formerly known as Off the Wall Prepper 1.
This is the
good 2. Evening. So anyway, Self-reliance was cool. Hey guys. Brett says, typo, hey guys, instead of hat guys.
Hat guys.
I like hat guys, Brett. Hey, good evening to you. Anyway, it was a good festival. Then we got out of there Sunday at about 4:00. Bobby and I decided we would try to make it as far as we could make it. So at 4 p.m. we hopped in the truck and drove all the way home. I got home about 2:00 in the morning. And then I was worthless for the next day, but because would you agree? Yeah. So anyway, that was that. Rest of the schedule. So I leave Sunday for Lumna Acres. And so I'll be up in New Hampshire and Vermont area for really the better part of a week. And then I'm going to fly to Kentucky. I'm going to go to the Kentucky Sustainable Living. I think I open for the event. I think I'm the first speaker. And I'm going to speak about exiting the system. And then I come home. And I think I'm here a week. And then I go to Florida. And I'm also speaking about exiting the system, which is cool because I won't have to memorize, 2 of them. And go down there. I have a friend down there named Jim Gale who runs Food Forest Abundance, and he asked me to come down there and speak. So I'm going to go down there, and then I'm come home for the year, which is pretty exciting.
For the whole rest of the year.
Yep. Now we have events here. We have the Freeman Festivus. You guys, anybody who wants to go, let us know you're coming. But
you got to let us know so we can get you on the list.
Yep.
We get 100 spots. And that's it.
Dorothy Holloway, good evening to you. Steve Hall says I've lost a dozen beehives since 2017. I give them rhubarb now. It absolutely works.
Rhubarb leaves?
I think it's leaves.
Like the oxalic acid from it? What is?
Yeah. Everyone showing support. Got to get back to work. Everyone keep doing the dang things. Off the Wall Prepper, thank you very, very much. Hey, we need to do a video sometimes. We'll do a live together. How's that sound? That'd be fun. All right. Let me see here. We will be watching. I saw they got their panels up. Will be cool to see the system in action. Mm-hmm. Yep, they got the panels up, and so now we just got to go install the systems, and so that'll be pretty cool. They're talking about Lumna Acres.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know they got the panels up. That's good. I didn't.
Well, you have to have the panels up before the system can be put in. So, yes, leaves pulverized with honey added. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Steve Hall, tell me more. So as we wait for Steve's reply, you want to get something off your list? Since
I want to write down Steve little messages here. I've been cleaning. Cleaning out my garage, cleaning out the powerhouse. I had to go run errands. I left Lisa to do it. Sorry, gotta go. Gotta go get milk for Tag.
Yep.
Can you clean out the garage while I'm gone? Please.
Yeah. Guys, we have been so blessed to have Silver Lining here with us for a little while. She's a hard worker and she's funny, and she takes me poking on her and picking on her easy. And we've been absolutely blessed to have her. She's helped me out a lot. Typically when I travel, someone's here with me because she's,
incapable of doing it myself. I'm scared of the dark.
I was going to say you're a big chicken, but
I don't know. I will beat a possum in the chicken house. I am not. I mean, that is, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, she'll pitchfork a possum in the chicken house to death for eating the head of its chicken. True. She also gets me out of bed so that I can go downstairs with her while she hangs clothes on the clothesline.
Inside.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to talk.
Hey, Danny, it was good to see you too.
You know,
I totally forgot about this. How did your meeting with the tax man go?
Yep, we can't talk about it. Next topic. Hey, Faith, what do you got going on? It went fine. That's it.
Yeah. It was I think a good experience for both of us.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it.
Period.
Okay. I've got your point. Sorry, Gizmo. I got outvoted here.
Gizmo, you can call anytime and he'll discuss it with you via the telephone.
Okay, read this one.
I have an entire protocol. I need to write this down. This is Steve's information. Make a glob 2 or 3 times per week and literally close the entire.
No. Close the entry. You have to read it, Pumpkin.
And close the entry with it gradually in the fall. Eventually leaving only a small entry for winter. So you like jam the entrance closed with it, with the honey and rhubarb leaves mixture. Just jam it in there.
Yeah. Will you be doing any more playing conflicted with guests? My husband and I enjoy those so much. We bought cards. Oh, cool. Well, if you guys are interested, I could always read a couple cards each live. That's super easy. But, at the Midwest Preparedness Project, they do it around the campfire with tons of people, which is pretty fun. I like to sit back and just listen to all of that. But Terminator said, if I can pitchfork a raccoon, you can do a possum. Mm-hmm. Well, she did the possum.
Well, yeah, a raccoon. They probably fight back, don't they? I found out that possum, they don't really see beyond their... they don't see too far in front of them. So I did not feel like it was going to attack me. But a raccoon, we had a raccoon as a pet. And I've seen what a raccoon can do. I don't know if I wanted to fight one of those. What'd she use? A pitchfork.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Tamara wants to know whether it makes the bees stronger. What does it help with? And apparently Packrat says you need good glasses too.
Yes, I do. So on mine, I can see better on the bottom part. So if I lift them up like this, I could totally see, but I can't just hold the... Did you just see that? He said that. That wasn't very nice. So, yeah, I can't see unless I go like this.
No line bifocals.
They are bifocals.
B, porch size affects many. Yes, I block the entry. I jam it in the entry crack.
Huh.
So do you just fill it all the way full and let them deal with it as far as creating the hole they want to create, or do you specifically leave a hole? Jen says, no, shoot them in the face. Brett says, men are from Mars, women from talk forever now. I know why men put off hearing aids. Yeah.
It wasn't that funny.
Brett, you're on the shit list like I'm on all the time, so it's good to know, right? Yeah. B, did you get the turkeys trained from biting? They don't really bite. Maybe you call it biting?
Well, I mean, they peck you. I mean, if you have like a string hanging off your pants, right? If they have something, they peck you when you're in there. Don't they peck at your leg
clothes.
Hairs, your
my
clothes, a mole on your skin? They'll peck. No, they just continue to peck you.
B, porch size affects whether or not the bees will let you close them up with it. Okay. The Terminator's killed 5 coons. Steve says it eliminates mites totally. 0 mite count.
Because of the oxalic acid from the rhubarb leaves, right?
Yep.
And if it's mixed with honey, then they're going to be in it.
Yeah.
Because they want the honey.
Oh, well, you grow rhubarb. You have rhubarb leaves, right?
I don't right now, but... So can you use dried up rhubarb leaves? Or do they have to be wet, like fresh?
Oh, that's a good question. Because you could hydrate them.
That's what I'm thinking. If you but I don't think that the count would be the same. I don't think that the wood bleach would be the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know. Steve says he uses fresh. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I think that's your answer. All right. What else? So I didn't finish the retaining walls, but I got them very, very close. I'm short on a couple blocks for the pillars, but I thought I'd show you guys some pictures. So you guys remember those are from the two sides from the stairway. So she ended up with some big planting boxes, and so she ought to be able to plant lots of stuff in there. I think I got one more picture in here of it. Yeah, and then that's from the house. You can see B down there. But she ends up with those two big planting boxes. But really what it gets to is look how much flatter the ground is now versus the slope that was there before. And so she'll be able to fill them with plants. That will be nice. I get to stop the water. That will be nice. We both win. That's nice. Would you agree?
Yeah. I was thinking maybe we should go up another block.
Yeah. B wants to go up another block. But the problem is on the little building side, if I go up another block, I'm touching the building. And I don't particularly like that, but we'll see what happens, right? Let me see here. Oh, hey, Spags is in the house. What's up, bud? We were just talking about you.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yep. Mike and Jen want everybody to use Starlink. Grumpy Acres would be a good one to talk to. I know that they use.
Yeah.
You know,
I think there's a couple people that we know that use them.
Yep. Gypsy and Louise. That's right. So King, Juicy, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty uses Starlink.
Mm-hmm.
Mike and Jen, I know you guys know them. You know, they'll be able to tell you what they think about it. Let me see here. Yep, that's right, Gypsy. Wow, you've been busy since we left. Yeah, my wife's a slave driver, Jen. She's a Mongolian slave lord.
Somebody's
I keep telling you that.
Got to do it. I mean, we don't have anybody else coming and offering to work.
Yep. We don't have you coming to offer to work. How many blocks you pick up in the whole process?
That wasn't my job.
I'm just asking you.
They all have roles.
Yep. And some of them are cream filled and jelly, and some other wives don't love their husbands.
I think all wives should love their husbands.
Anyway. Okay, Brett, there are ways to kill coons, but if I say on here, I will be banned, but I'm old school. I won't care. I think that, the thing about freedom, and I tell people this all the time, freedom's brutal. That's the lion that runs the Serengeti is free, but his life is brutal. The lion in the zoo, it's not brutal, but he ain't free. Let me see. About me, what did I do now? Actually, Spag, all we were talking about is that you and I managed to drive 20 hours without turning the radio on. And I thought that was pretty cool. That we found enough things to, talk about. Hippocrates has Starlink. There you go. Tag, another block would make a better cover area in front of the house.
It'd just sink the house a little more.
The house is not sinking. She always said that the house is sinking. The house is not sinking.
Can't see the front door.
Oh, Faith says he was being nice to you, Spags. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Wow, very impressive with your build. Yeah, they're just planting boxes that I get to disguise, And
they're square. We just stacked them.
Yeah, it was super easy work. Hey, Grateful Hearts, how are you? Bahaha, she's on vacation. She is on vacation, right? Ask her how many blocks. Jen, ask her how many blocks she picked up.
That was not my job. We all have jobs to do.
Yep. Okay.
Mine was cleaning up after you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get to you because this is important too. I'm gonna ask her how many blocks she picked up.
She didn't. It wasn't her job either.
Oh, okay. Steve says block job looks like a pro. Who's the mason? Well,
We're not masons.
Yeah, funny thing. So you guys have to tell me how many of you think this is fair. A fair arrangement. Okay. So my job is to get the mortar. Get it out of the bag, put it in the wheelbarrow, put the water in it, mix the mortar, set the mortar, pick up the block, put the block in, right? Put mortar on it, go and set it all and all that stuff. And then B.
Level it.
Yeah, level it, get it level, all that stuff.
Make it, yeah.
Yeah. And then B and Lisa's job was to come behind me and pretty up the seams.
It needed it. Let me tell you.
Okay, so was that
he is not a pretty seam layer. He is a messy seam layer.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happens when you put
when you mix the the mortar into the wheelbarrow, it's supposed to stay in the wheelbarrow while you're mixing it.
Is that all you could? That's all you could come up with?
It's all over the house. It's all over.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah.
Splashed up over the side of it and onto the concrete, and there's a big circle of wet mortar around the wheelbarrow.
You guys like how she diverts all of this to the fact is she didn't lift the mortar. She didn't make the mortar. She didn't lift the blocks. None of that. Her and Lisa sat down with a Coke and a smile and
on wheelie chairs. We had chairs with wheels on them. We were just scooting along.
A mess. Yeah, Spags, I had a good time too.
We had to rub sun lotion on ourselves so that we didn't get burned while we were sitting there in place.
Do any of you have videos on a Starlink experience? I do not. But someone might out there. Lisa did all the work while Tag was gone and B was getting milk. Yeah. Okay. Except lifting the block, mixing the mortar, putting the mortar down. Right. Starlink Wi-Fi extends out to our entrance. How far do you think that is?
Oh, geez.
King Gypsy? Probably. That's a ways. Yeah. American Root says, my job was baking cookies.
Mm-hmm. We have cookies in the freezer from her.
Cookie dough, which is much better than cookies. Just saying.
It's the cookie dough. There was no baked cookies in there.
Packrat says, pound, not my job.
Pound, not my job. Somebody else's.
Yeah. Let me see. It does what I want it to do. There is fiber going next to my property, but I'm trying to not connect to anything that gives any utility access to my property. Smart. Oh, man, I'm behind. Holy moly. Oh. Let me see here. Yep, it was teamwork, says Silver Lining.
Oh, she called that teamwork.
That baking bucket is serious business. Yeah, it is serious business. Especially if I get some.
Yeah, American Roots has to bring her own baking bucket to our house. She's like, we're going to Tag's house. I got to bring the baking bucket.
Yeah. So we make a great mortar team, says Vicky. Team's an interesting choice of words there.
It is a good team. Yeah.
No, basically, I'm the Tasmanian devil, and when I spin through the area, her and Lisa clean it up. Is that how it works?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Not.
That's how it goes.
If I spun through there, nothing would be level or straight.
It was level and straight and messy. Like there's,
no phone, no lights, no motor car, not a single luxury.
Yep.
Right? Gypsy said, I thought American Rich's job was to eat ice cream. There was plenty of that too. Yeah. Yep. And I left plenty of frozen cookie dough for Tag. Thank you very much.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I need to remember that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Then the ladies made it pretty and made Tag look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like
go.
That.
That's what happens.
Yeah. American Root says 350, 12 to 14 minutes. I'd rather eat the cookie dough. So would I.
7 oven, 35 to 90 minutes.
Yeah. Time for some trifocals. Yoda says.
I was hoping my eyes would just get better on their own.
Oh, here we go. Big Kid says, a handy tip for hand mixing is use a cone or fire hose style hose end with a 3/16 opening. It does most of the mixing for you. Works great, 280-pound bags at a time. Yeah, the problem with mortar is I can't mix up more than a bag at a time because I can't lay it fast enough before it starts to harden. So I'm really limited to, to that. Hey, prep for the Eternity Homesteads here. Hey, good evening to you, Mr. Rain. What's up, bud? How are you? We were just talking about you. Silver Lining, who's in the chat, was talking about how your wife needs to write a book. And we were sitting out last night in the front of my house. We have a little sitting area out there where it's dark and we can sit out there and enjoy the night. And we were talking about your wife writing a book.
I would love a Heidi book.
The one thing that might extend the Wi-Fi of Starlink is being out where there's not 100 other Wi-Fi sources within 100 feet. Yeah. Mm. Think of it as having to overcome Wi-Fi static. Yeah, well, where we live, specifically where Gypsy's at, there ain't anything else out there. We can thaw cookie dough to go with the cherry ice cream. Yeah. Silver Lining's been on a cherry ice cream kick. Worked construction with a guy that would say it will look from a bucking horse at 50 yards. It'll look from a bucking horse. I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah, they did make a great dinner. That works good. Let me see, what's this here? In a Ziploc bag in the middle freezer. Yeah, mixing tip works for any dry mix like concrete. Okay. All right, cool. I think I'm caught up.
She was giving us direction on where the
cookie dough was.
Where the cookie dough is in our own freezer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, she understands. She's been around to realize you don't get in the refrigerator and freezer much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we just eat.
And she feels sorry for me.
Yeah, she does.
She feels sorry for me.
I know. That's why she baked you a bunch of cookie dough balls.
I know, right?
Made you a bunch of cookie dough balls.
Okay. Is Swiss chard the same as rhubarb? No.
No.
No. Starlink is great. Okay. So what do you got?
Kind of looks, I mean, the stalks kind of look the same, but I think strawberries and rhubarb both give off oxalic acid.
Mm. You can use strawberry leaves too?
I think so. Mm. I mean, I haven't heard of it, but I don't, there's oxalic acid in strawberries.
Yeah, the good news is I know where they are now, American Roots. Tamber says the internet says rhubarb leaves are poisonous. They are poisonous to some things, right?
Yeah, you don't want to eat them.
Yeah. Look at the cell carrier. They are offering deals for Wi-Fi. Starlink has gotten stupid expensive. Yeah, everything's gotten stupid expensive. And I imagine it's going to keep going. Will look good from a bucking horse at 50 yards. And that I understand. Oh. Faith says spinach and
amaranth
have
oxalic acid too. Okay.
Rhubarb reminds me of bitter celery. You know, Heidi has been asked thousands of times to write a book, but she doesn't have time. She does have around 2,000 videos, though. Oh, yeah. What a wealth of knowledge she is.
Yeah.
You know, we were, like I said, we were hanging out front of the house last night, me and Silver Lining, talking about Miss Heidi. Speaking of Miss Heidi, the most asked question request I get, but sorry, folks, I simply do not have time to write a book, nor am I willing to prioritize it over my channel and my grandbabies. Amen. Amen. You know what, Heidi, I hope you take it as a compliment that it is. Mm-hmm. You know, that these people, you know, look up to you and you're smart enough and you know enough that everybody just wants to, you know,
have your
just
recipes.
Have it. Yeah. You know?
Yes. Not on the internet.
Yeah. Out in the country, you have a hard time with cellular Wi-Fi and can't live stream.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I have Starlink here in upstate South Carolina. Works pretty good. Yeah, we don't have it.
It was not when we got.
You should be flattered because you're a rock star.
When we got our internet service, the Starlink was not available.
Yeah,
in
and ours
area.
Works good. So,
and we haven't. They haven't made us mad enough to inquire about anybody else. So.
Starlink is expensive, but there aren't a lot of other options out here. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it more expensive than most? Starlink?
Oh, yeah, because you got to buy all the equipment, and then it's expensive, I think, to have, but it works pretty much anywhere.
What? Oh, you have to buy like the receiver and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been in the construction since 77 and rode many real estate booms, but I have never seen level of building as is going on now here in Podunk, Appalachia. It's incredible and escalating. Oh, look at that. Hey, Chuck Peoples is in the house. Homestead Medical.
Hey.
We're working on putting a class together here in Kansas where Chuck will come out and teach homestead wound care on one of our farms so that the whole community can listen to it. And I'm working on getting it put together. Glad you're here, Chuck.
Yeah.
Rain Country says, I do, and I get it. I just want people to understand where I am on that one. Oh, yeah, we understand. And Heidi, you should prioritize your grandbabies over everything. And anybody that tells you anything different, but doesn't change the fact that you have a lot of things to share, you know?
Yeah. So quality information.
Right. Yeah. All internet questions. Miley says something in the yard, dogs barking bee. Yeah, there's always something in the yard. Guys, guys, where we live, there's always a coyote out there. There's always, and especially at nighttime. And then those dogs, they're up all night long and they sleep during the day. And so the littlest noise, and I would bet sometimes it's just a cow or something.
The neighbor dog has been over quite a, the side neighbor and the across the street neighbor. Both of them have had their dogs here in the last couple of days.
Yeah. Family farm is out on a dirt road in Tennessee, and the subsidized municipal broadband out there is amazing, much better than what I have in the state capital, and that it's $50 a month. Yeah, don't mind that at all, huh? Let me see here. Rhubarb can turn your pea brown for a while. I freaked out because the internet said I was dying.
Wow.
Funny thing is, I get those that tell me I talk too much. Well, there's always a hater. Right. And the truth is there's a critic always, there's always a critic, but I won't listen to them. I don't. I get plenty of them too. Yeah. Now here you go. Silver Lining says to you, Rain, of course we understand your priorities are in line and I respect you for it. Yeah. Let me see. What about instead of a book, a DVD collection of the top X number of videos, or maybe each DVD with videos on specific topics? There you go.
That you've already created.
Love runs rampant. Good evening. Says B. Ever tried rhubarb leaves in beehives for mites? My next natural remedy experiment, maybe. And we were just talking about that.
That's what we were just talking about. Steve Hall up top in the comments has a protocol he follows with rhubarb leaves and honey.
Yep. Mike and Jen's supposed to come share Starlink with American Roots.
Yeah, you should come share their Starlink.
I got another picture I want to share with you guys, and it's a silly picture, but you know how I built in the turkey coop? I built a big tree inside the turkey coop. So I basically just put a big tree up and then put made branches out so that the turkeys would get up there and roost up there. And the other night, and they wouldn't really going up there for a while. The other night I was in there, and I want to show you guys this picture. Look at that. They're all roosting up in the tree. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Have you noticed when I let them out in the morning, they get up on top of that building now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're little.
They as high up as they can on top of the building. How tall is that building in the back?
Oh, 16 feet. And yeah, they get all the way up there. Let me see here. Jess, I ordered it today. Just buy once, cry once. Let me see. Heidi's calling is chatting on videos and at me. And she's good at both of those. Let me see here. Yes, I've been asked about DVD idea, but with the great amount of videos I have to sort through, that would be a pretty big project. Yes, it would. Acylic acid and rhubarb leaves. Yep. And some other things, right? Let me see here.
Yeah. What'd she say? Spinach and what was it? Spinach and something else.
You said strawberries, and they gave two other examples.
Faith said.
Yeah. Steve all says, wow, turkey roost. Yep. And they go way up in there, which makes me feel good, like I didn't waste all my time, Hello, better late than never. Catherine, good evening to you. Tag, we did something similar for our chickens to roost on. They love it. Yeah, I put the natural cedar. Every time I cut a little cedar tree down, we cut the branches off and I throw it in basically a teepee so that they can dry, and then I use them for roosts. But the turkey coop and the guinea coops and all those have them. But that particular one, I actually tried to build a whole tree out of because I felt like I needed to, and they sure seem to like it because they can get 15 feet in the air inside the coop. And every morning we go out there, they're up there now roosted, which I think is pretty neat. Yep. So Starlet Doak's daughter's in the house, Grumpy, wants to know, what is a freeze dryer? Yeah, I don't own one. A lot of people do. But they freeze dry food, and that's how they store it long term. But we'll let Grumpy. You go over to Grumpy Acres. They do lots of videos on it. Yeah, Miley says it will soon be turkey time. Yes, it will. Yeah.
It's almost rooster time at our house.
Yeah. Yeah. Next is going to be to butcher the roosters, which I think, are you doing that while I'm gone?
I don't know. I need to finish the fireplace.
Yeah.
I'm rocking the back fireplace. And I have to wait for full sun so that I can use the tile saw to cut them.
Let me see here. The red portion of rhubarb has less acylic acid, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know. Funny, we also used cedar limbs from a tree we took out of our yard. Yeah, I think they work great. Let me see here. What's it say? Let me see. Okay, sorry, wrong one. They're talking back and forth. Pat gets the frying pan if he acts up. Who's Pat?
Patrick?
Patrick? Our Patrick?
No, Mr. Rain. I guess we call him Mr. Rain.
Oh, got it.
We forget you guys have like names.
Like actual names, yeah.
Yeah, so yes. I did that the other day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's your name? Oh.
It took me a minute.
Okay.
It took me a minute. All right, what you got? What's the next thing on your list, Punk?
So I have been trying to get as much stuff done as possible. So I started a list of items. That's how I ended up with the garage cleaned. And then the powerhouse got cleaned, and that wasn't even on my list. But I've just been working through my list and
I think it's neat you actually lifted something.
Marking something off. Lifting what? What did I lift?
Didn't you lift
the caulk gun?
No, you lifted a bunch of stuff out of the powerhouse storage room, right?
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Or did Lisa do all that?
Lisa did it.
Okay. So she didn't lift the blocks. She didn't lift the mortar. She didn't lift the stuff out of the garage.
Yeah.
What do you have to say for yourself, young lady?
I've been busy. I've been busy. Like, hey, can you get this done? I've got Lisa doing morning chores, you doing nighttime chores. Yeah. I've been really busy making lists. I've been making lists and checking things off as you're getting them done.
Mm-hmm. So where my power is, guys, I have the powerhouse next to the little storage building. And it was full of a bunch of stuff. And so they moved it out and put some stuff in the shipping containers, and some stuff went to my shop and her shop. And she wants to have a building where she can store more animal food in.
I'm trying.
Which we're going to talk about later as we get on throughout the live about getting our own house in order with all the craziness, that's going on in the world. But so she's been up to that. And then you're rocking the fireplace.
Rocking the other fireplace. One? Yes. Fireplace number 2 that I had. When I got done with the first fireplace, I was so anxious and ambitious. I took all of the rock that was left over and took them down 2 flights of stairs there, and then brought them over to pod 1 and brought them up a flight of stairs and put them on the back deck where they had been sitting for a year. 2. And didn't realize that, okay, so they were all nicely stacked in cardboard boxes that I was going to get to ASAP. 2 years later, the boxes are disintegrated, and the plastic wrap that was on them is also disintegrated. And a few of the blocks are disintegrated, and I'm getting through it. I organized all the ones that were mixed in, and then I'm putting them up. So what
you're rocking
was going to be, I was going to get right on. I didn't. Made more of a mess. And now I'm rocking it.
Hey, you got all that bare wood over there on the sheep shed and all that you're supposed to get painted. How's that coming?
That didn't even make my list. I probably better put it on my list is like, it's like an entire page of stuff.
Don't forget to get the roosters processed so we can free up those pens, right?
So the sheep shed, you think that can I just prime it for the winter, or it has to be primed and
it'd be better if you primed and painted it.
Yeah, I kind of thought you were going to say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I built it.
I know. And I want it to last, and I want to keep it.
Because guess what happens if all that wood rots off there because it wasn't primed and painted?
Yeah. What is that? 1 bite? 3s.
1x6s. Well, what are you supposed
Those
to
are
have them?
6s.
Yeah, the fascia's 1x6.
It'll probably warp and twist.
Yeah,
And
you got bigger problems though than that.
you won't build it again. I know. I kind of figured that.
Yep. Mike and Jen from Life with Mike and Jen say, I've got some beautiful treasures from the rains. Love, love, love my bowl, my skirt, my hand creams, and on and on. Super thankful. Amen. Yeah, I could see Mike and Jen being good friends with Mr. and Mrs. Rain. Those personalities work good together. You agree?
I like them.
Yeah. Yeah, super cool. Big Kid says, catch y'all later. Good night, bud.
Have a good night.
So I went to an auction, right, during the Midwest Apprentice Project. I only bought one thing, so I thought I would share with you guys what I bought. Not 100% sure what I'm going to use them for.
You bought one thing. You bought a lot of one thing.
About 40 items, but it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe you guys can come up with some ideas, and I'll share a picture of it with you real quick.
They were more than I thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm. So I paid $15.
Okay, so let's ask these guys, what do you think you could use these for? Like, you're like, hey, I could use this for this. Or do you look at this and go, what the heck are you going to use that for?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to use that? And why do you have 40 of them?
Because they're heavy and they're metal and there's so many things. So what I was going to do is cut some of them down and put them as shelving in your greenhouse because the water will fall through.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Right? So, but what else? Right? Let me see here. Where am I at? Tag, you got to use livestock proof materials. I do. Oh, you're talking about from the fascia? Yeah, no, it's just fascia that's up there, and I just use one by because it's what I had. It'd be better if I'd used concrete board or something like that. But Hakers Raw 54. Good evening to you. Way to go, Jen. She's running around the house now with her cast iron. Yeah. Pirate planks. Ramps.
Walk the plank.
Yep. Incredible potential. So what these were is these are the rails that are on top of rail cars, like, you know, from the railroad. These are what you walk on top. And there was 40 of them. So I bought them.
So there's a train running around here with no catwalk on it.
On my grandfather's farm, they had a small feed house. The hole was cut in the floor. The farm cats entered through the hole and took care of any rodents. Yeah, run faster. Well, I only have one grate, but I use it by my water hose so that I am not stepping in the mud or wet grass when I turn it on and off. That's a good thing,
just
right?
Called it water like a grate.
Those can be used for walks around muddy areas and in the chicken run to keep their feet clean.
Are they pokey?
Yeah. Is it too heavy to be a walk board? Yeah, they're pretty heavy, but no, you could walk on it. No, you wouldn't slip through them. See, all those holes are raised, babe.
Are they pokey though? Are they? Will they cut?
There we go. No, they wouldn't catch too bad.
Or chickens?
A bridge over troubled water.
Yeah.
A dock.
That's a thin dock.
Well, you just put supports on it, but it would let all the water through, right?
You want water to go through the dock? Don't you walk on a dock?
Yeah. Yeah, you could be the walkway out to the dock or out to the edge.
Oh, you mean just so that water goes through?
Yeah, just goes through it. Tim says put them on top of cinder blocks in a greenhouse. They last forever.
Oh, cinder blocks, like for shelves.
Not till you paint the fascia. Mr. Wayne says, what are the dimensions? 12 inches wide? No, they're 27 inches wide, and those are 12 feet long, and I have 40 of them. You know, I like the idea of drying potatoes and such. Slip-proof walk. I wouldn't walk on them barefoot.
So that's what I was thinking, if they would be, or if they'd hurt.
Mm. Yep, that's what I said, Mr. Rain.
Spill-proof walk?
Yeah, spill-proof walkway, yeah. So I'm not going to use all of these. I think I'm going to keep one stack, and the rest will go to the other homesteads unless I find some other use for them. But anyway, that's the only thing that I bought at the auction. Although now looking back, there were some other things I should have bought. Right? You agree or disagree?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what
Vertical garden shelf. By the way, my buddy Ghetto's in the house. What's up, Ghetto? You see here, you could use it in the chicken house for floors, removable, then pour for compost. What does each one weigh? Oh, I bet you they're 30 pounds, probably.
Each one weighs 30 pounds.
30, 35 pounds, yeah. You see, on cinder blocks in the greenhouse, that would be great.
You think that they would bend? You think that they would
No.
buckle?
No.
12 feet long?
No.
No matter what you put on it?
Well, no, you park an M1 Abrams tank on it, it's going to bend.
But you walk
But you put a 5-gallon bucket on it, it's not going to bend. Or you put a tree on it, it's not going to bend. Or me walking across it, it's not going to bend.
You know,
I mean,
because
eventually.
pots full of dirt are really heavy. And if it's 12 feet long and you have a 12-inch pot, that could get heavy.
Yeah, it would handle that fine. Park heavy equipment on them. Oh, here's a funny one. Indiana Mike says traction boards for stuck cars. So we need to cut some shorter ones and fit them in MMR's trunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, she could put them, well, I was going to say, if she had the Jeep, she could just put them on the top. But
LJC says, I thought we got the other 3 stacks. If you want them. I don't have any idea.
There were more than that?
No, what she's saying is I only really want 1 stack. I don't need more than that. And she was standing there and she said she was interested in some mats. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hive box stands. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh.
Arthur
to make
Roy,
like
good
a
evening.
stand for the hives.
Not till the fascia gets painted.
What does this fascia have to do with the hives? Those are good.
We had a trailer load of freezer wall insulation dropped off for free by a friend today. Oh, that's a score. Yep, if they can hold cars, they can hold some good weight. Yep. They would be as good as 2x12s. Oh, way better than a 2x12. I think you could probably put way more. Let me see here. Stacked on piles of cinder blocks make a wall for seedlings. Drying onions, garlic, Taylor, like you did. 27 inches by how thick? 3/16 maybe 3/16 thick. Yeah, I want something like that for crossing the creeks. Yep. Shelves in the greenhouse would be an excellent use. That's actually the reason I got them. And I only really need like 6 or 7 of them. I bought, they come in stacks of 10, but I actually got them for the greenhouse. Okay. Starla Dokes' daughter says, this will sound like an ignorant question, I am sure. I understand that you are farmers, but are you like survivalists or doomsday preppers? And what did you mean by community? Oh, my goodness.
Are you a doomsday prepper?
What a question that is. So I do not consider myself a farmer, just so you know. I don't consider myself a survivalist or a doomsday prepper.
Great. What are you?
I don't really consider myself any of those. And what did you mean by community? Well, I use the word community a lot, but I'm assuming I was referencing our community here, which we have a bunch of people who live life like what we live, who
try to grow our own food,
grow some of our own food,
provide for ourselves.
Yeah, and those kind of things. So I imagine that's what I was talking about, but I can't speak specifically to the. Let me see here. I was just reminded that 8 a.m. comes early tomorrow. I can convince G we can take 2 cars. See y'all at lunchtime. Yeah, see you at lunchtime.
Oh, that's hilarious.
On edge, maybe a lintel above a solid masonry opening. Yeah. Faye says, I'm totally a doomsday prepper. Tamara says, B's a farmer. See, I don't really consider us farmers, and maybe B doesn't.
I don't think I'm a farmer. I want to grow my own food. And then if I have extra, I share it with community members.
Yeah.
And then hopefully if they have extra, they share it with theirs with me.
Yeah.
And that's what we mean by community.
Yeah. I think when people use the word farmer, to me, what it means is for resale. You know what I mean? Like you're growing, you're growing food,
and you're putting,
and that's not what we do.
Crops in the ground, and you're harvesting, fields of potatoes to take to the farmer's market. Or
here's what I'm going to regret posting, but Rusty Daw says, flooring for the Wallapini.
Actually. that's actually a good idea because I was thinking we were going to use wood for the
It'd be so much better.
catwalk
Be so much better.
on the Wallapini.
It's galvanized and it's thick. Take a long time to rust.
And you can grow shrubs underneath them.
They're freaking huge. My mind was going to Amazon to buy a cool bot so Mike can make a walk-in. Honey-do list is getting longer. Yes, it is.
For their freezer panels.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got all that insulation.
Oh.
Ghetto says life prepper. Yeah, I kind of consider myself a freesteader. Meaning that I'm, I want to grow my own food. I want to live my own life. I want to be left alone. I want to provide my own power. I want to provide my own water. I don't want anybody in my business. I just want to be left alone to live my life. But that's what I think. Hey, Mrs. Hacks is in the house. Good evening.
Hey, y'all.
What is Pippin up to?
Like 5'2".
Yeah, like 5'2". Yeah. Hey, by the way, Toby is here from Roan Mountain, Tennessee, and Toby is going to come out to Kansas, I think, and build a big old homestead, right? Oh. That's what I keep hearing. Intentional community with an emphasis on helping each other live healthy lives. Or, like LJC says, it's a cult. Yeah, I love that.
Drink it.
Not a prepper, but not a go to the grocery store when the shit hits the fan either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the whole word prepper. I just don't like it. I believe you should be prepared for good times and bad. Why do you carry insurance on your car? Because you're preparing for something bad to happen, right? Why do you have health insurance? Because you're a prepper.
Why do you have extra TP? Because you don't want to go to town.
Right. Yep. Louise says, go Toby.
Go Toby.
Faith K says, all hail the free man. Chocolate milk for life. Hear, hear. What did they say in the book?
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
With a metal straw that clangs.
Right.
I hear that in the nighttime.
Been sick all week, sore throat, cough, and fatigue.
Oh no.
I heard that Typhoid Mary came through town.
Was like.
Did everybody hear that?
With a cape.
With a cape. Mm-hmm. With a big T on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was a horse.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. She had a silver cape, didn't she?
Yeah.
With a big T on it? I think so, yeah. Yeah, Typhoid Mary's been running around. Cameron says she's a hermit. That's good. That's because you won't run into Typhoid Mary.
Yeah.
You're being funny. Her daughter is really trying to figure out her mom out as she is at her bedside. Yeah, like I said, your mom's a legend. And, I'd be careful with putting, titles, on things because it's just not quite that simple. I think from your mom's perspective, she agreed that, just being self-reliant was a good thing. And I think being self-reliant is a good thing too, because you can't count on the powers that be that'll be there for you. We have to be there for ourselves. What you just described, you want to do is what I call a true homesteader, like in the early pioneers. We have car insurance because the goober it makes us. Well, some people have it just because the government wants you to have it, but a lot of people carry it because they want, if the case their car gets wrecked, they want it replaced. Mm-hmm. People carry life insurance in case something happens, their, significant other isn't strapped with bills. We keep health insurance so that we don't have to lose everything we own when we get sick, but it's all preparing. Why do you have a 401k plan? Because you're preparing for retirement, right? And so it's only has a negative connotation when you're, storing up your own food or, those kind of things. You all need to bring the community to Tennessee. Well, there's no reason to do that. We're all already here. Yeah. Yep. All you got to do is, follow the lead of King, the one, the only, the King, Juicy Gypsy Hefty Lefty, and follow him here.
Dilly dilly.
Okay. So basically, you are striving for self-sufficiency, solitude, and no interference from government or other human beings and security. Yeah, interference is an interesting choice of word. I want to live life according to my own terms. And so I have lots of other people in my life, and even people who create interference in my life. But I want to choose for myself. I don't want it chosen for me. But yeah, I think you said it well. Yeah, so Silver Lining apparently ran into Typhoid Mary too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure did.
Yep. Tag and Beat are similar to Sean James of My Self-Reliance. I don't know that channel. I'll have to look it up.
My Self-reliance. I'll write it down.
I was trying to joke. My computer freezes up every time I try to put an emoji on. No, I thought it was funny. I think, I don't know, I never told you guys this story, but I've been accused of having an occult, which is funny because on my entire land, the only people that live here are me and my wife, and but anyway, it's funny. People just simply just don't understand.
Yeah. Well, it's because there's a lot of people here all the time, and people that come that don't understand don't realize that these people like go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is definitely fire, cider, and elderberry syrup season.
Fire cider, is that like alcohol cider?
I don't know.
Fire cider.
Self-reliant is the true government is the devil. Yep. Society has termed prepper as crazy. I think it is thinking outside the matrix. I could not agree more.
The matrix.
It's all about the way we were created to live. Yes, I agree with that as well. Yeah, but it does get quite the, negative connotation, doesn't it?
Condensation.
We're already an hour and 20 minutes, and I haven't gone through any of. You guys want to do some headlines real quick? Anybody want to watch some headlines? See what's going on out there?
You're hanging heads on lines.
Yep, I found some interesting headlines out there. This one was cool. Navy shoots down 15 drones, 4 cruise missiles headed for Israel in a 9-hour onslaught. So America now has entered the Israeli conflict. And this was just breaking. Yeah. And Hamas has released 2 American hostages. I think there's still 9 to go. Pretty crazy, huh? What's my next one here? Let me see here. Look at this one out here. I thought that one was interesting. Here's another one. Russia's closely monitoring U.S. nuclear tests in Nevada. Putin spokesperson says, how many of you guys are aware that our government tested a nuclear missile in Nevada this week?
I was not aware.
Anybody aware of that? Yeah. Absolutely crazy that this, you just don't hardly see it or hear it or anything, U.S. conducts nuclear test in Nevada hours after Russian move to revoke global test ban. So Russia tries to break a nuclear arms treaty. Hours later, we test one. Absolutely crazy. Brett says, Tag, you are doing the right thing, creating a community that works together without cash and barter. I know. And we're trying hard to get it in. And it is a long ways from easy. Right? Let me see here. What's my next one here? This was interesting. So you guys know how we watched the movie Terminator?
Yes.
And it was, the land of make-believe and all of that stuff. But this was a headline I found today. This was in Fox News. Said China and U.S. are in a race to unleash a killer AI robot soldier as military power hangs in the balance.
Yeah, I saw an AI robot playing ping pong. Did you see that?
Mm-mm. Yeah, let me see here. Let me go. I got to go back here because Eagle Lover says that 4 of the drones were headed to U.S. military base over there. So 12 United States military bases in the Middle East have been hit with a missile of some kind in the last 24 hours. 12 of them.
12.
Yeah. Faith says, so we broke the treaty, not Russia, and daily we look more and more like the bad guy. Yeah, the problem with that is, Faith, is that to say that we broke it, I don't think you know or I know. And I think that we're only being told a little bit about what actually happens, So I think it's super hard to say. I think they're all bad guys. I think that the big governments around the world, have been enslaving their people, whether it's Russia or America, and they're all the bad guys. Brett, we wish you were closer too. That is probably why they are having earthquake swarms in Nevada. There you go, Wanda. I don't know. Oops. ChatGTP 5 got a body this year. Crazy days. Yeah, I can't even believe we're playing with this kind of stuff, Big B says 'tis the season for some wood cooking. Almost.
Cooking. Yep. Almost.
Yeah. I read that we never really signed the treaty. Again, it's hard to say, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but are any of you guys confident in what you read in any news source? Tell me, Fox, any place you read it and go, okay, yeah, that's the truth. Because I don't, State Department put out a worldwide travel alert to U.S. citizens in all countries because of terrorism threats. Yep, I would not be leaving the United States, and I certainly wouldn't be going to a third world country anytime soon.
Right.
Yeah. B, would you like to trade green tomatoes for some red tomatoes?
I don't have any tomatoes right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have tomatoes? We had a frost.
Yeah. Brett says I'm a warm weather kind of guy. Yeah, so is everybody else, Brett. That's the problem with, when you get into those places that are like paradise, like San Diego and, some of those places. Yep. 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 All governments are culpable while the innocent civilians on all sides suffer. Perfectly said. Yep. George Orwell's Animal Farm. If you haven't read it, please do. Then read George Orwell, 1984. Yeah, some of us are equal, but some of us are more equal than others, right?
Yes.
Yep. Nope, I question everything. Yep. Just realize I'm 2 minutes behind. Oh, well, that would probably make some sense, huh? Yeah. Not just third world, but like Britain, France. Yeah, I wouldn't really travel overseas at all. I'm really not wanting to travel across the U.S. right now. Yeah. Trust none of them. CBN, Fox support one side, the rest support another. None of them are giving the whole truth, and all of them are owned by the same person. So keep that in mind too,
Right.
See what else we got. What's another next one that was interesting? Oh, this one was interesting to me. So McDonald's, are they saying goodbye to California with a $20 minimum wage for fast food workers sparks overhead concerns? And it's interesting because like a lot of people don't understand the ripple effect this has. So you guys ever heard of a company called Kaiser Permanente?
No.
You never have?
No.
Big healthcare system. All over basically from California to at least Colorado, maybe further now. Over big healthcare. But anyway, they're going on strike right now because the $20 minimum wage in California is now similar to what Kaiser Permanente pays their employees in the medical industry. So they're saying, wait a second, this isn't fair. Minimum wage is $20 an hour, and yet I went to school, right? And so now you got that, that ripple effect thing. Let's see here. We will be a third world country with southern borders wide open. Yeah, that's a mess too. I'm Floridian, and we still own a gun and tote it. Yeah, but man, you're where all the population is. That's the part that would worry me. Right? I was just thinking the other night, all are created equal, but some are more equal than others. Yep. Junior high mandatory reading. Yep. I just had two friends come back from cruises in Europe, and they were scratching their heads at why their ship skipped some ports and stayed at sea. I pointed out that there were probably protests there. Oh, yeah, they're going on everywhere. Yeah, George Orwell's getting canceled. Yeah. All of our kids and grands are flying out in 2 weeks. I'm a bit nervous. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous too. I got to get on a plane on Sunday, and I'm nervous. Huge healthcare system do partial birth abortions. Yeah, but they're all going on strike over this McDonald's thing. No, it isn't McDonald's. It's over
it's the $20 minimum wage.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that makes sense.
Right.
If they're college educated and have debt to prove it, then why should they be making the same amount of money that somebody who did not go to college? And
yeah, Denzel Washington said it right. If you don't listen to the news, you are uninformed. If you do listen, you're misinformed.
Right.
Yeah. Operation Paperclip is in full effect. The headlines from all media is the weapon. Guys, what you have to understand about all of this is that the media, the medical system, you go look at any of them, and the top shareholders in them are Vanguard and BlackRock. The same two sets of people own it all. It's like 80% of the global economy. I mean, the United States economy now is owned by just those two companies. So they can use one to benefit the other, right? Because they're in it to make money. Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Jones
Plantation. Anybody who has not watched that video, you need to go watch that video because it's exactly how the world works. We have Kaiser still. Luckily, we can go through their partners. They sent us emails saying appointments may be delayed. Yeah. How fitting that George Orwell gets tossed down the memory hole. Yeah. I'm in West Palm Beach, and everybody is from somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere else.
Yeah. Higher wages equal automation. Yeah. Yeah. I'm uninformed. Kentucky Goat Man, I'm going to tell you something, but we're all uninformed. It is so hard to understand the truth. It is so hard. Now I understand why my mother does not. Okay. Now I understand why my mother does not. does not what? What did I miss? Same families have ran this planet for some time. Oh yeah, for sure. Anyway,
for sure.
I thought that was interesting.
For sure.
USA sucks, but they are all running here. Well, USA sucks, but guys, this is not a USA problem. This is a global issue. It's going on everywhere. I mean, think about all the craziness that's going on in the world today, right? I mentioned 12 military bases were attacked. U.S. military bases, were attacked. London, apparently I heard some, I haven't verified this yet because I just heard it as I was coming in that Great Britain and Russia exchanged fire in the Black Sea today. I hope that's not true because that would be a very, very bad thing. I'll share with you guys a very interesting quote. I don't know if you guys read into things like I read into things, but probably not. So our fearless leader said today or not today, but this week said, we are at a global inflection point that is bigger than politics. What does that mean to you? It's a huge statement. We are at a global inflection point that is bigger than politics. What did he really say? Anybody have any ideas? Oh, here we go. Now I understand why my mother does not watch television or read newspapers. So how is the way I can learn more so I can help my mother? Yeah. Young Miss Doak, the problem is I don't know the answer to that. It is so hard to really understand what's true anymore. I mean, I can show you news sources. MSNBC reports that Israel bombed a hospital, killed 500 people. Fox then reports, nope, it wasn't Israel. It was a rocket from Hamas that was bad that killed 500 people. Because those two agendas want the other side. That's how they want it. You can't. It's so hard to tell. I go before these lives come on. I go and research and try to find the best answers I can. But you know what the truth is? I'm not even confident in them.
Yeah.
And I do a ton of research. It's super, super hard. Yeah, it is a one world government. Yeah, Casey Goatman said, what's that video that you said we should watch? Right here. It's the Jones Plantation. And the reason why you should watch it, guys, is it really describes the way our world works today in a very simple, simplistic manner. And, for those of you guys who think you have a choice in an election, go watch that video because all you're doing is picking between two different slave owners. That's all you're doing. And, they've got us convinced that that's the right way. The Republicrats, laugh at us behind our backs and say, look at those idiots. Yeah. Yeah. Which fork in the road will we go down? It's so hard to tell, but it really looks like to me that we're getting ready to be fighting war, at least on two fronts, if not three. Israel's about ready to fight them on three. They're fighting them on two right now. Yeah, it's just so hard. So hard to even understand, I'd talk to Starla as much as you can. She seems smart as a whip to me. Very wise. Save her every moment. I agree. And she is smart. Yep. Under a one world government, there is no left or right, and you don't get to vote. There's no left or right today, and we don't get to vote. They just make us feel like special, Yeah. But we're aiming for a three-front war. The $100+ billion Biden wants is mostly for Ukraine, about $15 billion for Israel, and the rest for Taiwan. Has Taiwan kicked off too? Yeah, actually, the numbers on that, I read that today, is they are sending $60 billion to the Ukraine, $14 billion to Israel, and $30 billion to Taiwan. So $104 billion they're sending out to go fight those wars. So that would clearly tell you their intent, right? If that's where they're sending money.
Yeah.
I mean, it clearly.
Where was it?
Right there, baby.
Ukraine.
Yep. Start a revolution. Yep. Grow a garden. Spread seeds to all and be prepared. Yep. I think there's a quote out there. It's one of my favorite, and it says, "My goal is to be so absolutely free that my mere existence is an act of rebellion." Go be so free that you piss them off just by how free you are. Hey, last night I heard a radio transmission from Humus, submitting that it was theirs. Yeah, the problem is nobody knows, guys. There's so much propaganda. Now are the days to not believe anything and stick to yourself, your family, and your community. Yep, 100%.
You got it.
Yep. Inflection means a huge change is about to occur, likely World War III very soon, I was told. That's the quote. And so what he says, again, I will read it again. He says, we are at a global inflection point, which basically inflection just means turning point, right? So another way to say that is we are at a global turning point that is bigger than politics.
Global.
It's important the words that they used, right? Global inflection, which is turning point. That's more important than politics. Tell me anything that we do in our country that's bigger than politics. I don't know any. Yeah. Oh, Stephen Danoon. Yeah, I was on his show once. I've had a chance to visit with Steve just a little bit. We are the contestants from the movie Rat Race. Yeah. This war is about going after Iran to cut the oil supply to China. You know what? Actually, Ghetto, I think you're onto something here. I actually think that all this is super interconnected. And I think as our society here declines, right? Our fathers, the fatherless homes, our money system, right? The banks, interest rates are going up, inflation's coming right around the corner. All of these things that decline, the one way that the government has always known to get us out of it from an optics perspective is to take us to war, right? And this has been wash, rinse, repeat for all of time. And what saved what saved the Great Depression, right? I mean, eventually we ended up in World War II, right? And so I think that it's inevitable that they're going to do this because of all this huge shit sandwich that's going on at home. And the question is, what's their real target? And I think Iran makes a whole lot of sense. Yep, the most subversive thing you can do is to garden these days. Yep, and we have so much money to spend. We're completely broke. We are completely broke. Heidi says, if anyone has not read 1 Samuel 8 in recent years, I suggest they do. God warned his people that what would happen for selecting a king to rule over them in place of God. $60 billion so they can support their world domination. Yeah, do you guys know what $104 billion would do to our homeless problem we have in our own country? What $104 billion would do to go repair the divide that's going on today? I mean, guys, look, I can't even, Muslims fighting Christians, there was even some Jews who were standing up and protesting for the rights of Palestinians. And then the right wing got on their ass about how are you any different for storming the Capitol than when we stormed it on January 6th. And I mean, everybody's fighting. Everybody. I heard Klaus Schwab ordered Biden to initiate the draft to help fight the noble cause. Yeah, I hope they don't do that. Yeah, Eagle Ever says, that word is too big for Biden. There's actually a little bit of truth in this too, that, the global inflection point. He had another really good quote. I might just not be there yet. Did I already do this one? Oh, no. Here's another good one, guys. I wanted to share with you. Tropical disease now epidemic in U.S. CDC reports imported dogs could bring deadlier form. You know how I always try to bring you guys one every week, see if I can find a new one. I'm on week. How many weeks in a row have I found a new one?
A while.
So this isn't the one I wanted though. Here's the other quote. Well, let me get caught up real quick here. The money from Taiwan is to replace some of the munitions because Biden sent it all to the Ukraine. Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. China knows that if they ever want Taiwan, now they have to do it. It's not going to get easier, right? I don't see how they would see that. I mean, they say always attack your enemy at its weakest.
Yeah.
Our military is weak. Our leaders are weak. Our people are weak. They're not going to get into a better situation. And now we're just pumping more and more money into Taiwan. And we're heading into the winter, which is the most ideal time to pull something like that off. We are living out the very things God warned us of in the chapter, and it's pretty eye-opening. Silver Lining says to Scarlet Oak's daughter, to help your mother, just be available to her, to help her with her needs while she is not well. We are praying for her healing and will add you to those prayers. Amen. Paying taxes is bigger than politics. Taxes enable politics. We do fund it. It's to bring all top 3 superpowers to war was planned 1984. The planet will beg for a new world order when it's all said and done. To a thundering applause, right, Ghetto? The devil is coordinating it all. He is running scared because his reign is almost to an end. Ever wonder why we're not in the book of Revelations? I've always pondered it. Can I become a member here? Yeah, show up Friday nights. That's all we do. Starlet Oak's daughter. By the way, tell us what your name is. And you don't have to give us your real name. Just what do we call you? And soon we're not calling you Starlet Oak's daughter. You can, get an account on YouTube if you want, so we can see your name and it don't say Starlet Oak. But yep, Friday night, 7:00. Did anyone hear Biden say 2 or 3 days ago that he was born in Israel? I did not hear that. Oh my goodness. We're going to get sucked into a Middle East war and then watch and see all the terrorists here at home. Oh, yeah. We're as in the USA. A record-breaking winter is being forecast as well. Well, of course it is. We can control the weather now, too,
Yes.
Yeah. Most people don't see what's coming. I've heard the Army reckons less than 25% of our young people are eligible simply on the basis of health and obesity. That's an obesity issue. And I've read a couple articles about that this week, how they just can't find it anymore. And so they may have to go to a draft, which worries me. I have 2 boys that age. And I would, absolutely go with them if they'd let me, but they probably wouldn't. But there we go. Those dogs are going apeshit. Laughed out loud. Oh, they're always up there.
Yeah, one is in the back and one is in the front. And
they're great guard dogs, though. They're up all night long.
Earlier today, they were both sitting on the dam, looking to the east. Both of them oddly sitting there, staring over there.
Brett Boyd says they are not weak. They are selling us taxpayers into slavery. I think they're absolutely weak, Brett. You and I can agree to disagree here, but only the weak allow the morality to collapse the way it is. That's weakness, in my opinion. It's much harder to do the right thing. It's easy to do the wrong thing. So I would absolutely describe them as weak. Arthur says, by the way, Shabbat Shalom. Is that right?
Yeah.
Everybody? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. He's also multiracial and has many degrees at the top of his class. Yeah, that stuff's funny.
He's multiracial.
Yeah, he got in trouble early on in his career. He claimed to graduate at the top of his class and have multiple degrees, and they proved it all wrong, and he had to apologize publicly. And in fact, back then, a lot of politicians were saying this is the end of Joe Biden. But, yeah. Stepping in, it says, maybe the U.S. self-implodes, and that's why we aren't in Revelation. Draft our sons while simultaneously letting 15 million military-aged illegally aliens. What could go wrong? Yeah, how horrible. Wants to have a daughter that is ex-military, and she is concerned that she may be called up. I'm concerned about it too. LCMS Church is supportive of conscientious objectors, so my daughters have that if they start drafting women too. King of the Hill on a gravel pile when we were there, Violet won. Yeah. They're talking about is when they were out at the house, they came stay with us for a little bit. And I had a big pile of gravel. It's not there anymore, but the dogs were playing on top and Violet won. Read Greg Mortensen's books years ago. He was in the Middle East on 9/11. People in the remote village where he was staying told him to go home. U.S. had been attacked and named the guy behind the attack. I read something interesting today. I couldn't verify it by anything, but I just found it interesting. Apparently, some people are claiming that Putin is threatening to release their spy footage on Building 7 of the World Trade Center bombing. The other building that fell down. There's been a lot of controversy about it. And apparently they're saying that they've got video of them loading a whole bunch of stuff out of that building the day before. I don't know. I couldn't verify it. So, I think it should be mandatory for young men to serve our country. I used to agree with that, Toby, but I don't agree with it anymore. Serve what? And I think that's really the problem. I'm a veteran, so Toby, and my son served, and my dad served, and his dad served. And, there was a time I was super, super proud of that. And, I would say to myself, we're out there spreading freedom and all that, but we don't anymore, and serve their country. That's a really interesting, I'd be interested in what your definition of serve your country meant, because maybe I would agree with you.
I think it means something different than it used to.
Yeah. An EMP and a lot of people in the U.S. will die this winter. Yep.
Yeah.
Toby, why? To fight a corrupt government? Yeah, it depends on what the definition is, right? If the United States is written in Revelations, it would be represented by an eagle. Once upon a time, I would agree, Toby. These days, I disagree, though. Toby, if they take all our young men, then who's here to defend us? It would turn the way these young men are. 9 out of 10 are lazy. Now, he's got a really great point here. I didn't leave the military with anything other than discipline, but it's helped me a lot through my life. No one's had to yell at me to get out of bed in the morning or to go do what I was supposed to go do. And so there's some truth there, but I don't think you can get that
just by being
I don't think you can get that by serving in the Peace Corps. That's a military thing. But the problem is our military is now used, right? It is corruption to, I don't know. I really struggle with that. They really, really struggle. Everyone forgot that $2 billion in gold disappeared in the basement vault of the World Trade Center the day before. Yeah. Putin says he has videotape of it. Johnny. Well, no, let me back up. It's rumored that Putin has said that. I have not been able to verify that. Yeah, nobody should be forced to fight rich men wars and to police the world. Yep, I agree with that. But that's kind of why I asked, what's the definition of serve, right? Let me skip down here a little bit. Me and my kids will protect the land we live on. Toby, I have the 1 of 10, tough as nails, and wanted to go into the military. Changed his mind when election was stolen. Serve under these guys? No way. I think I'm beginning to understand. She is going back to how she was raised. Mennonites are self-sufficient. Makes sense now. Oh, cool. All right, let's get this next quote out here because I'm caught up. This was a big quote. Now, you remember he talked about we are all at a global inflection point, right? He also said in a primetime televised address, U.S. President Joe Biden stressed the critical need, and listen to this, this is really important, okay? The critical need to curb Russian President Vladimir Putin's ambitions, which extend beyond Ukraine to other European nations. Quote, if we don't stop Putin, he won't stop at Ukraine, Biden stated. He also revealed that Putin has reminded Poland that its Western lands are a gift from Russia. The whole speech can be found on the White House's website.
So they're putting it on the White House website.
Yeah, but what's interesting about this is what he's saying is Putin has to be stopped beyond Ukraine, which means it's not enough for Russia just to back out of the Ukraine.
Right.
Russia, again, they want war, in my opinion, right? And so they're looking for a reason. And what he's saying is Putin's got to go. Russia's got to go.
Who'd you say had the video of the gold coming out of the...
So as I was researching for the live, I ran across several articles that were talking about it, but I couldn't find...
And who was it?
Just a bunch of alternative news stuff, but I couldn't find him. I couldn't find the video of him actually saying it. And so, which is why I'm reluctant to share stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find it. But if that's true, that would be a big deal.
Right. So.
Yep. Look at Ukraine. They've lost 3,000 men if you want a wife to go there. Yeah. 300,000, says Brett. Gold that came up missing hit the front page headlines the morning of 9/11. Well, of course it did, because no one's going to watch it then, huh? Ghetto. That's what I think too. But if they draft, my boys are gone. Yep. I do agree with the corrupt government. Yeah, it's so hard. It's such a hard thing, because, and Toby, I was raised a patriot. Like I said, my grandpa served and we admired him. And then my dad served in Vietnam and we admired him, and then I served because I felt like I had to. And then my son served probably because he felt he had to.
The oldest one did. And then when it came time for the next one in line too, we said, wait.
Yeah. But I think there comes a point where you have to say no more, that I'm not going to support that. If I could get even the smallest inclination in my mind, that we would be going out there to spread freedom. I'm in, right? But we're not. And that's sad. Read about heavily decorated Major General Smedley Butler on Wikipedia, and his writings and speeches on the war is a racket. It is a racket. Once the guy wearing a dress christened a ship for the Navy, I knew our military went to shit. Yeah. That's what I meant by it's weak, right? We've gotten morally weak. Let me see. I'm back. The Jones Plantation described. It's pretty good. It is really good. And it's what I like about it so much is it's simple. Like you don't have to have a big understanding of politics to get it. You know what I mean?
It's simple. You get it.
Russian ain't that poor as the media wants to portray. There's nothing the media says that I think is real, right? I can hear the wheels of the military industrial complex and the war machine warming up. Yes, they are. They 100% are. Nito says 2 of my sons serve. Thank God they're all over 40. Yeah, I've got one who's 30 and one who's 25. I worry about them. Let me see what else. Let me remove this real quick. Okay, we can get rid of that. Babe, it's almost 2 hours. I wanted to talk about something before we got to the end tonight. And I could go on topics. There's all kinds of headlines, but I'm sorry, that was rude of me. What else do you got on your list? Anything we didn't cover that you want to talk about?
No, go ahead. I was just going through my.
Yeah. So I think it's smart, that it's prudent for all of us to get our houses in order. And our world's weird, man. And there's a lot of stuff going on out there. I mean, we have U.S. military bases being attacked by the hour, all over the globe. There's rioting and, looting and stuff going on in more countries than I can count. We have protests going on right here at home. Right? We have people all over the world fighting each other. The Muslims fighting the Christians, and the Christians fighting the Jews, and the Jews, and on and on and on and on and on. And then to add to all of those things, our economy is into shambles, and inflation has taken off and will continue to take off. Now I know you guys that there's some people on here that would say our medical system's up to par, or our education system, or our banking system, or the judicial branch, or the executive branch, or the legislative branch. Any of those you guys think is ready to, that are doing great? Because I can't think of any of them are. So I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about putting our own houses in order, and talk to B a little bit about what that actually means, to get our own houses in order. And so I'll share with you guys from my perspective. The first thing is I try to get small. And what that means to me is try to shorten my footprint, a little bit. Try not to be so needy on so many things, right? Try to get small. And me and B have been doing a lot of talking about this, about how do we, like one thing we've been talking a lot about is animal food. So we hay our ground, right? And so that produces some food for them, but that's not really a good source for chicken food and those kind of things. I don't really have a way to produce it right now, although they free range, and they would be just fine during the spring, the summer, and the fall. We get cold winters here. And so we're having a lot of conversations about storing animal food long-term, right? This has been a big topic to us lately. And that's kind of what I mean by getting small. How can I shrink everything down, to my little farm and, do my best to get along. And then the same side, think big, right? Get small, but think big. So for me, thinking big is, how can I adapt the systems that I have, right, to be more free? How can I spend a little bit of resources today to make life here easier? For example, B had been carrying water, right, from our big storage tanks out to the chicken house and to the animals for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Till this year. This year we put in a big high-speed gravity-fed water rain system out there. So she's still carrying water, but just a couple steps.
Yeah.
Right. So we've shortened that.
Hose.
Right. Or she can drag the hose around or whatever it is. So get small and think big are two things that, we're trying to do. But I would like to hear from you guys on some of the things you guys think getting your house in order means. And I have a whole bunch of things on my list to talk about. But do you have any comments on that before I?
No, I mean, that was a big deal trying to be able to provide for them. And yes, they eat a lot of table scraps in the spring and summer and fall, but not usually in the winter.
Yep.
I mean, there's some here and there, but not enough to sustain them all.
Rick says it's funny that two religions have the same God are fighting each other. It makes me think, is God really good? Number one, your relationship with Lord. There you go. Get right spiritually. It's funny. I skip that one a lot.
Yep.
I do. And luckily, we got a lot of great people to help, keep me squared away too, right? Homemade chicken food, dry bean based winter food. Yeah, and you could do some of that, but here's the thing is that dollar for dollar, Chris, unless I'm missing something, I can put up sweet feed, I can put up hog feed, I can put up cracked corn, I can put up a lot of that stuff for pennies compared to what I, put up for dry bean based or something like that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, unless of course you're growing them yourself, and then you still at that. How much would you have to grow in order to feed them through the winter?
Mm-hmm. Look at all. Yep. For me, getting our house in order starts with our spiritual lives. Do this first. Right. Turn to Jesus. Let me see here. If you're not stockpiling food, water, and a good heat source for this winter, you're apt to be in for a difficult to survive. So so let's talk about some of that real quick about food. Because I wrote down, you guys, you have the basics, right? Shelter, food, water, right? Security. Those are all medical. Those are, all super big things. But, when I think about food, prepping is a short-lived answer. I'm probably going to make somebody mad when I say this, right? You can only stack stuff so tall. You really got to be thinking about how do you recreate it?
Yeah.
Once it runs out, and gardening some of it. But, we talk a lot about, me and B talk a lot about storing everything in its natural setting, so we're storing beef on the hoof. We're storing sheep on the hoof. We're storing eggs in the chicken, right? We are. I mean, we're storing energy in the tree, right? Because right, that's where I want it. I want it out there growing and out there doing its thing. And so I think we should really, really try to push ourselves to store as many elements as we can in their natural setting, support those systems and those ecosystems, because I think long-term we're going to survive that, a whole lot better. And I missed a whole bunch of comments, guys. If I missed one, I apologize. But it just went right on by. I'm sitting here cleaning dried field corn into a bucket to make cracked corn as part of my chicken food. Good for you. Good for you. Sprouting increases the nutrition for them as well. To get through the winter. Have a worm, black soldier fly, or mealworm system too. Most important prep or insurance policy is your soul. We all die in the end. One was Christian, the other one pagan. I got to hit the sack. Night all. Hey, Kentucky Goat Man, have a good night. I've got solar lanterns, not bright, better than nothing. I would love to get a wood stove, but we don't have forest around here. Places selling firewood don't come within 75 to 100 miles of me. Well, there's lots of other alternatives there. You can use the sun to create heat too, Karen, and there's a lot of ways. In energy, guys, I would put clean at the top. Might be up there with water to me. Being able to have energy is a force multiplier. Without energy, I can't move water around my farm, which guess what that means?
Buckets.
You're humping it, right? And that gets tiring. If without energy, you're cutting logs with a handsaw.
Well, not only that, I mean, without energy, you're not getting water on the ground.
Oh no, we can hand pump it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you can get energy out of the tree with a handsaw, but you're not running a chainsaw without energy.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'd put energy way, 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 way up there. Nito says, I'm canning everything I can get out of the garden. Yeah, my niece always says, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Where are we at here? Oh, I think, did Yoda leave? Anyway, I'm raising composting worms. As they multiply, I can give them to my sister for her hens. Yeah, well, and there's a really good thing too. If you guys got somebody who, let's say, lives in the city, who can't have a big garden or can't raise chickens, maybe they can grow the worms for you.
Yeah.
Right. Which leads into, another thing to get your house in order is get community.
Right.
Find like-minded people, because you can spread that weight, so much further out. You know,
well,
I think
it's one less thing that you have to do for yourself.
Brent says, Tag, are you working on solar? I don't know what that means, Brett. I mean, I have a solar system. You know, we're 100% off grid. I have ownership in a company called Grid Down, which is my hat, which sells whole house solar systems. So am I working on solar? Not actively. My solar system's great and it does its thing, but I'd like to grow it. You know, I'd like to grow my system some more. You can boil water like me year round. You know, we could, Terminator, and no offense, but no thank you. You know, think Pioneer days, but work smarter with gravity and such. Yep. Part of preparing at the moment is to make sure I have next year's necessary seeds now rather than assuming the supply chain works. I think this brings up a really, really good point, is that storing your garden in a seed, right, is a great way to store your produce. And I would absolutely not count on the system delivering you seeds next year. I absolutely would not. I mean, that's kind of what I mean by getting our house in order, right? I mean, that means, what are our needs? B, do you have enough seeds to grow the garden for the next 5 years?
I'm sure I'll need something.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, don't answer that, but that's where you need to be, right?
Yeah.
Do you have your energy stored in the places? Can you collect some out of the sun, even if it's just a light? Those little things. Charge a battery. You know how helpful a battery powered drill is going to be? If you're, oh my goodness. Let me see here. Spirco's number 2711 talked about 24 bulletproof plants for the backyard hunter-gatherer.
There you go.
Yep. During the Civil War, cowpeas, for instance, were passed over by Union raiders burning fields because they didn't recognize them as food. That brings up a good point, too. Know what food's around you. You know, we are very blessed to live here in the Midwest, because you can't walk 2 feet without finding food, right? It grows everywhere, but you got to know it's there, right? To Pack Rat's point. We have some windmills to pump water from the ground. There's an answer. Yeah. Yep. But if you don't have the windmill, what good is it, right? That's kind of what I'm saying. Get your house in order. If you guys were waiting to buy that windmill to pump water out of the ground, go get it. You know, Go absolutely get it.
Put it in the garage.
Yeah. Boyd says, get down, not get down, grid. Just like my hat with an R. Grid down. Here's a good one. Storing sleeping bags and heavy blankets, coats, socks, gloves, knit caps, shoes. Shoes. Yeah. We started a worm garden back in the spring. That is some of the best fertilizer I have used in our gardens. Good for you. I'd like to do that. Rice, beans, and oats. Yeah, most reliable calories this summer have been from my goats and chickens. I'm focusing on being able to feed them so they feed us. Great thing to be focusing on. I'm looking at tanks, 500-gallon gas or propane. Yeah, we have 2 500-gallon fuel tanks, and then we have 1,000-gallon propane and a 495-gallon propane. And I'd love to buy another one. Yep, throw the main breaker this weekend, then you'll know. Guys, what a great thing that would be. This weekend, throw the main breaker.
Yeah. Sit there.
Great idea.
For 2 days.
Yeah, great idea.
Electricity. You'll still have to pay the bill because there'll be a minimum.
Yep. I built a solar heater that at 15 below zero at noon with full sunshine put out 133-degree temperature.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Any information you can get in paper form, this is the time to procure it. Get your house in order. That's exactly what I'm talking about. AI-generated books are polluting Amazon. Get the wrong info on wild mushrooms from a bad book, and that's the end of you. Yep. Wool socks, another great one. Right.
Blankets.
Hand pump never fails as long as you're not lazy. Yeah, but here's the thing, Brett Boyd, is you only have so much energy. And, you know, think of energy as a gas tank, right? And through the course of the day, you have so much. Where do you want to use it? I would rather have a solar panel pumping water out of the well and moving it close to my animals, right? Yeah. So the amount of energy I have to spend is less. Get your house in order, right? Plan to eat seasonally. This is a super smart thing, right? Like potatoes, winter squash, things that can be dried.
Yes.
Having enough fat on hand for calories. So is it better to save your money or buy hard assets such as tractor, seeds? And what do you mean by barter? So first of all, I am not giving financial advice right here, Starla Doak's daughter. right? I'm not a financial advisor. Please seek whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather have assets 10 times out of 10 times over cash, right? They keep inflating the dollar away anyway. What you could buy today, what your dollar will buy today is, half of 1 cent of what it would have bought in the 60s. So it ain't worth anything. So I'd much rather have that. And says, what do you mean by barter? Barter is where you trade. I could trade, my turkey eggs for your duck eggs, for example. That would be considered bartering.
Or some seed oil for some eggs.
Yep. Snow pounce boots, good to -20. Mittens and vinyl layers between to block the wind. Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see. Nito says, I saved a cooler from going to the dump to set up a worm bin, something else on the to-do list.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Starla Doak's daughter, your mom does not buy seeds. She does not buy seeds. That would be true. Yep. Would you be willing to share with us how you built it? That would truly interest my mother. Yeah, Milwaukee makes a water pump that runs on an M18 in a well in a pinch. I did not know that. And I own so many things in Milwaukee. Write that one down. Milwaukee water pump. I'd love that.
Christmas is coming.
It's coming. I have a 500-gallon kerosene tank that I am not using. You and B will have to come or send Gypsy back down to get it. Oh, we'd use it. Yep. Or maybe we just get you convinced to come up here and hang out with the community and, visit around a little bit. Get extra rebuild kits for that hand pump, Brett Boyd. Yep. That's a good point, too. I would buy every wool blanket I find at thrift stores.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree, but solar will run out of batteries, go bad. Yes, this is true, Brett. So eventually the batteries will go bad. If you get good batteries, they'll last a long, long time, but they will ultimately go bad. But here's the thing. I don't need batteries to make my solar system work. I need batteries to make my solar system work at night.
To store the energy.
Right.
But during the day, we can have all the power we want.
Black oil sunflower seeds are one of the few easy protein, fat, oily yielding plants that you could grow. Almost no pest pressure. Plan for ways to communicate without Wi-Fi or data. Community is so very important to communications. Meeting face-to-face and building community is vital. This is said super well from Hope Heals. Absolutely find ways to communicate without Wi-Fi or data, without your cell phone. And I would agree. There's nothing more important than community. I'd put it clear at the top. Trade that paper cash for tangible assets. I would agree. Yes, I could share how I built the solar heater. We would love that. I don't know how you want to broadcast that. You're welcome to send it to me.
Make a video and
I'll get it out, or even better, make a video. Yep, and put it out, and then I'll broadcast that too. Right? What else about getting your house in order? Guys, if you've been delaying putting your gates up on your front, get them up. Security is going to be a big, big issue. This is, when you think about what World War III means to us here, right, when all of that stuff is going on there, it probably first comes out as, social disorder, right? And so if you've been waiting to put a gate up at the front, if you've been waiting to get that security system, do it, and do it right now. I'm sure many of you guys know this, but Lake City, which is a military ammunition plant in Kansas City, Missouri, has stopped selling and canceled all their commercial contracts. You guys probably seen this in the news because they're diverting their efforts somewhere else. So, and I've heard that Winchester is following suit. And then there was also a plant in Nebraska that actually had an accident and caught fire. But anyway, ammo is going to get pretty tough to get, I think, here for a little while. Stock up on that. You got to have a way to defend yourself. There's nobody coming to your aid. I'm telling you, that's not what the police are there for. So you have to protect yourself. I mentioned security systems.
Yeah.
Guys, you can get little night owl security systems for cheap money, that have night vision that will
8 or 16 cameras.
Whatever you have to do.
Good tech support.
I'm a big believer in the guard line security systems because they broadcast with radio waves. They'll broadcast a half a mile. Someone pulls up to your gate, it'll just alert you, let you know they're there. It buys you 30 seconds. That 30 seconds is critical. Because if you have to react when someone kicks in a door, you're going to be in a whole lot more trouble than the 30 seconds that it'd take you to get ready for them. You know what I mean?
And that one has different tones, so you can know where they're at.
Yep. So depending on which way they're coming in, we have them. And it will alert. And I'll know exactly where someone is based upon the alert that's in there. I make quilts, have lots of material and batting stored up, thinking it may be a good barter item. I'd agree, especially if people get cold.
Yep.
I plan to have solar, but not the end all will wear out. It will wear out. Everything's going to wear out, but the truth is you're going to wear out. Right. So I would rather,
wait until they make them that don't wear out.
Yeah, right. I'll take it as long as I can get it. If my solar system right now would probably last with no interference another 15 years, probably 18 years. That's a long time. And hopefully by the time we get that far out, things have gotten semi back to normal. And, we're not going through this craziness that we're going through right now. And medical supplies are going fast. Mm-hmm. Even Bear said that other country militaries are looking for the major med stuff. Couldn't agree more. We've been actually buying up some of that lately, which has been pretty neat.
Yep, we got
Tag will send you an email in the next few days. Perfect. A gate is definitely my next project on my property. I just bought 2 game cams that send me pics. Yep, get a gate up. Game cams is great though.
Yeah, those are connected to the internet then, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're sending pictures.
Yeah, them would. Yep. There we go. Yep. Gregory says the Hornady plant. That's what it was. The Hornady plant in Grand Island, Nebraska had an explosion. Yeah. Yep. Let me see here. Do you have one of these shows too? Oh, that's going to be his YouTube channel. YouTube channel. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm slow. Let me see here. Just make sure those camera systems are on a private network and not on the internet. It's a lot easier to hack Wi-Fi cameras than people think. Yeah, I would go a step further and make sure you had systems off that. But don't put your solar system on the internet, right? Don't make your critical systems that run your place. I know it's convenient to look down at your phone no matter where you are and be able to monitor your solar system, but that is not a good idea in my opinion.
Well, could they just turn it off?
What's that?
Your solar system via the internet?
Yeah, someone could turn it off.
Just cut? Yeah, anybody could just come in and tweak with things.
Yeah, and once that connection's been made, can they turn the connection back on? And the answer is probably yes. Even if you go in there and manually turn it off. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they say they can listen to you on your phone without it even being turned on. So.
Yep. Faith says get dental work done that you've been putting off.
Oh.
Yep. No channel. He said he would send me the a drawing or whatever it is on the system, and then what I'll do is on the live, Starla Doak's daughter, on the live, what I will do is I'll put it up on the screen, and we can show everybody and talk about it. Etc. So we talked about security, right? We talked about energy, water. You guys, water is not complicated. Go get a big tub of some kind and collect your rainwater. Just do it.
Well, it's not an option. I mean, you have to have it.
Yeah. I mean, water is something so vital to life. No matter where you're living, collect your rainwater, right? I mean, there's water. You can fill your tub up and you can, drink out of your hot water heater like the preppers talk about. But the fact of the matter, it's going to last you this long. You got to have a way to sustain that and, some way to gain it again. If you live in a home and you can put a water system on and you haven't, you need to. I would get on it yesterday. We talked about fuel, and I'm doing these things, we just filled up all of our tanks. Everything on my property is full, which means I don't use it in my main vehicle that I drive, everywhere. I use it just on the farm stuff, but assuming that stayed the same, I'll make it, 6 months with what I've got probably. And not a long time, but it's a while, right? So let me see here. There you go. New eyeglasses. Have extra glasses with both earpieces on hand. Come on? Which one?
Faith. You're not there yet.
Okay. Tag is the grid down system independent of the internet. So yes and no. So they commission them at the factory, and when you boot them up, they want to be able to help make sure everything's worked, check on it. But what we've had them, this is a new recent thing, Mr. Rain, what we've had them do is to put a section in there in the programming that you can eliminate the internet from the system. So I'm still working on to get all of that working. I still don't have the screen issue fixed, which is so crazy to me. It's one of the things it has a port for it now, but anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. You and I've had that conversation, but so it is dependent on the internet at startup, but after that, it is no longer dependent on the internet. Long story short. The solar winds hack installed loads of backdoor access points to many government agencies and businesses. Yep. We see Zenni is great for getting cheap glasses. We get backups and single vision driving sunglasses and have no issues with them. One channel said government suggests 1 gallon per day. The guy said he'd recommend 3 gallons a day and make sure you're counting pets and livestock for water. Yep. I'm building a shed and we'll have a water catchment system. Yeah, do it right now. I'm telling you guys, this world is weird, man. And it would not take much for some spark to send this whole thing spiraling out of control, and do it right now. Go down and get the tank. Go to Home Depot, go to Orscheln's, go to Tractor Supply, whatever it is, buy you a tank and start saving your water. Eventually, society will devolve to a point where we have to live as our great-grandparents did. God, I hope not.
Keeping your tin full.
Gutters to a catch. Yep. Yes, Gregory, we have knowledge they didn't have. Technology isn't just electric-based, it's also knowledge. Yep. Well, we already talked about earlier how knowledge weighs nothing, right? What are we at here? Oh, we're 2 hours, 15 minutes. All right. Hey, final point real quick. I wanted to tell you guys. Did anybody else find it interesting that Israel is giving guns back to their people? So
they took their guns.
They took their guns, right, because they weren't trusted enough to have them. And now that war is at their front door, they're trying to give them all back. Anybody else find that interesting?
I did not hear that.
Yes.
So they kept everybody's guns and put their names on them?
No. They probably destroyed all the guns.
So
what they're doing is
back?
They're military issue rifles. They're saying because they're being invaded. They're fighting war now.
Save yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the Western world isn't the good guy, babe. Unfortunately, I wish we were. That would be the best thing to have in society. Sadly, that's why I don't think they will let it happen. Yeah, unfortunately. Rick says 6 gallons a day. If you are storing gas, be sure to add stabilizer to it, or you'll have trouble later when you go to use it. 100%. Especially so for diesel fuel, especially during the winter, because it will gel up. And then gasoline, if you're going to have it very long, you're going to have it more than a year. You want to make sure you stabilize it because it just won't last that long. Let me see. It's a conservative psyop. Of course it is. If nothing else, I will water my yard. 100%. You ate out anything. And guys, money's the land of make-believe. I've said this forever and ever and ever. I'd rather have the tank than have that money sitting in my bank account losing its value every single day. I was surprised they'd taken the gun since everyone has military training and even teachers carrying. It's ridiculous. And now they're giving them back. I wonder why. So you're not trusted with them. Until they're invaded and they need you to keep them in power. So go die on the streets. Here's a gun so they can keep themselves in power.
I didn't even see it that side.
But before that, you're not trusted, right? Israel has the Samson option. They do. Thank you all. I'll get my own YouTube so I can watch you and your wife. Thank you for helping me understand my mother's thoughts and plans. It's making sense now. Good. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm glad. And I hope you identify yourself as Starla Doak's daughter whenever you get yours set up so that we know who we're talking to, but we'd love to have you back. They limit the amount of rounds was 50, now 100. What are you going to do with only 100 rounds if you're being attacked by a mob? Just insanity. Just absolute insanity. I promise you guys, the only reason they're giving those guns back is so that they can stay in power. That's it. Yeah, good point, Ghetto. Israel is not what they tell you. You media is corrupt. Israel is not what they tell you. Media is corrupt. Of course it's corrupt. That's why I said the West is not the good guy anymore. It used to be, or at least I think it used to be. Or maybe I was just programmed to think it was back then, right? But yeah, handguns versus machine guns. Yeah, well, never forget, you guys, the government does not give you the right to bear arms. In fact, the government's job is to preserve your right to bear arms. And once in a while, there comes a time in history where that has to be cleansed. Sorry, that's the way it is. 100 rounds, I carry more on my carrier. Yeah, let me see here. That's only 3 clips. That came from an IDF officer. Yeah, crazy. What are you going to do with that? Anyway. All right. B and I are going to get out of here. But before we go, any parting words? since we've been so positive tonight and exciting?
Yes. I was going to say that there is so much to do all the time to make your lists, prioritize them. Sometimes you have to prioritize them even just by the day, like we do, because of the sun or the rain or the whatever stops us from doing something that we were working on. So make a list, check in it twice.
So you got any advice on how someone should be prioritizing right now?
Well, I mean, like ours, prioritizing for winter is just around the corner. But like I said, we have to use our power when we can, like the sun. If we have 3 or 4 days of minimal sun, that's not the time to use the tile saw. So, the material that I had stacked on the back deck that is literally rotting there needs to be dealt with. But is it more important than the seeds that I need to harvest before the hard freeze comes and they're ruined?
I think we should be looking at it like, if the lights went out tomorrow, what will I wish I had done? If I no longer had, and not even going to get rid of the lights, if I no longer had the support systems that are in place today, right?
Yeah.
The support systems of the electricity, water, sewer,
Gasoline,
first of all, food, fuel, right? Energy. Let's just put energy in a big category, because energy is electricity, energy is gasoline, energy is diesel, energy is, right, a lot of things.
It does a lot.
Right. But if the lights went out tomorrow, if the world as we knew it changed tomorrow, and I want to make sure that I stress this to you guys.
Right.
Okay. And I quote, we are at a global inflection point that is bigger than politics. Okay. If we were at a global inflection point that was greater than politics and the world was to change tomorrow, what would you have wished you had done and prioritized that?
Which the chimney would not be on that.
It wouldn't. It absolutely would not be on that. Yep. But I think that would be, that would be my biggest, I think, motivator to everyone, or my biggest point that I would put out there, is try to prioritize it in that way. Start small. It doesn't matter where you're at. Just start small. Do you have enough cash on hand? You don't have to go to the bank for a little bit. Do you have enough water on hand that, you don't have to go begging your neighbor for water in a little bit? Do you have enough food on hand to make sure you don't have to go begging for that for a little bit? Right. And more importantly, have you thought through the process of regenerative processes, right? How to be able to continue it. Right.
Yeah. And sometimes that's where the barter thing comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect way to see it. And sorry, I probably missed a lot. I was not watching. Very good live and good points made. Good night, everybody. Yeah. Mr. Rain says, yeah. So I think I would start there. Guys, my parting words, I'm just going to add on to what we already talked about. Get your house in order. Get it in order. I'm telling you, just go get it in order. What's the worst that's going to happen? You got your house in order?
Right.
I mean, that's absolutely the absolute worst thing that's going to happen. What are you looking for, Pumpkin?
Oh, I was looking to see what Mr. Rain said, because well said, Mr. Rain. Well said. Well said. I just thought that it was right there, but it wasn't.
She's slipping through it.
Yeah, I was flipping through the comments.
Yeah, I'd really encourage you to get your house in order. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to practice what I preach. Me and B are trying to figure out new ways to do better jobs and to make things more efficient here on the farm. All the animals are getting fed just fine now, but some of it's clumsy. Yeah. And so we're going to try to improve those processes. I've got water really squared away. I've got energy really squared away.
Yeah.
We've got food pretty good squared away. Now we're just trying to refine all of our systems and make them better. And so regardless where you're at in your journey, if you've got a lot of those things done, refine your processes, right? You only have so much energy in the course of a day. Manage your energy. It's more important than time management. It's more important than money management, and it's energy management. But anyway, get your house in order. Till we do it again.
Hold the line.
Yep. Don't give an inch. Tag and be out. See you guys. Good night, everybody.